More about a shooting in Beech Grove also happened Sunday night, killing one and hurting several others.
There was an argument. It appears that it may have been between two females, and then it was separated, and then somehow that erupted into this massive barrage of weapons being fired down there.
Beech Grove Deputy Police Chief Tom Hurley says they are looking for a white Toyota Camry that had maybe 2 or 3 black men inside it. A rainy weekend brought a break from the drought.
Across the US 50 corridor to the south, and then areas to the east and northeast of Indianapolis that got over 2 inches. A lot of those spots, they might have even seen improvements in their drought conditions, so that's always good to see.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service. He expects some more dry weather, though, this week. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most Root Metrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
With traffic, here's Alan Green.
Thank you, Harrison. Southbound Keystone slows up from Woodfield Crossing to 80th. Westbound Rockville from 465 to Girls School. Traffic is building a little bit. 465 eastbound is tight from Emerson to Southeastern. 65 northbound between Meridian and 21st. Still a little heavy from an earlier crash. This report brought to you by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Don't send your kids back to school. Send them forward at Staples, the working and learning store. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds decrease, some patchy fog, low of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and a little bit humid. High temperature reaches 90 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morris for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Our officers responded the way they should have, very quickly, and I'm extremely proud of the law enforcement response, not only from the Greenwood Police Department, but as you can see behind me, the multi-jurisdictional cooperation that we have. It was so fast. Self-reporting from home when they heard about it. Impd SWAT team members were here just as quick as ours were. It was a very, very fast response. But I'm going to tell you, the real hero of the day is the citizen that was lawfully carrying a firearm in that food court and was able to stop this shooter almost as soon as he began.
That's Greenwood Chief of Police right there talking about those terrifying moments at the Greenwood Park Mall yesterday that resulted in the deaths of 3 innocent people. My name is Nigel. Hammer's right over there. The shooter walks into food court, opens fire, and yeah, thank God a private armed citizen was there and killed the gunman. We do know the name of the hero, a 22-year-old from Seymour named Elijah Dickon, legally carrying and shot and killed the shooter. Who knows what kind of damage would have been done had he not been there.
And again, we are not going to say the name of the shooter. I know our newsroom, they have to do it. That's their job. They have to give you the facts and all the information. We're not going to say the name of the shooter, but I'm going to tell you the name of the victims. The innocent people that were just there at the mall to have a good time, get something to eat at the food court. Among those that were killed, this was a 56-year-old Pedro Pineda, 37-year-old Rosa Marian Padilla, That is his wife.
It's a husband and wife that were killed.
And 30-year-old Victor Gomez. Those are the three individuals that lost their life in that shooting in Greenwood yesterday.
I was watching a little bit of the press conference today with the Greenwood police chief, and he, again, singing the praises of the hero, armed, legally, lawfully armed civilian that opened fire and killed the gunman. Apparently, there was some distance between the two, and it was very technically executed in terms of how the hero killed the gunman. And while he was doing that, he was waving people, he was waving other civilians behind him to get behind him at the time that he was trying to take down the gunman. Now, thank God that he was there. I doubt it's little consolation for the victims and their families, but who knows what kind of deaths would have taken place, how many would have piled up had he not been there.
And to be 22 years of age and to have that presence of mind, that level of confidence and leadership to take control of the situation, that's amazing. I think back to when I was 22-year-old Nige, I was a knucklehead.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that say I would do the same thing if you're in that position, but until you're in that position, you don't know. But this kid who was there with his girlfriend at the mall, Elijah Dickin, took matters into his own hands and saved lives. And I think on behalf of everybody that's inside the mall, thank God he ignored the gun-free zone policy that the Greenwood Park Mall had in place.
Yeah, it seems like there were some people that are actually pointing that fact out more than... There's people that are outraged that they're calling him a good Samaritan. A good Samaritan helped the enemy. I tell you what, this is getting politicized. You just wait and see. You watch. There's been several articles written, several tweets, even locally here from anchors and reporters saying, well, you shouldn't be calling this guy a good Samaritan. He killed somebody. He was a hero.
Right. If that's what you took away from this yesterday.
He could have turned around and ran away too.
If your beef is that he was called a good Samaritan, if that's something that really bothers you about yesterday, you are ridiculous. Say what you want, call him what you want, but he saved lives. And if your whole argument is, well, he technically isn't a good Samaritan, shut up. Shut the hell up and sit down. Good Lord, what are we doing here? And let's go back to yesterday, the initial press conference that the Greenwood police chief had. You had Russ McQuaid of Fox 59 basically going out of his way to call the hero the shooter, like a second shooter. And listen to the police chief. We're going to play you some audio here. Listen to the police chief quickly shut down Russ McQuaid and let everybody know this wasn't another gunman. This was a hero. This was a good Samaritan.
It appears that a good Samaritan that was armed observed the shooting in progress and shot the shooter.
And before you said you had one shooter, but I think what you meant is you've got one shooter down and then the shooter who took him down. So you've got two shooters?
We have one shooter responsible for the incident and one good Samaritan who shot the person responsible.
Sound to me, and maybe I'm overanalyzing this, Nige, Russ is going out of his way to make it sound like it was the wild, wild west in there with a shooter over here and a shooter over there. Yeah. No, there was a good guy with a gun that eliminated a bad guy with a gun, and that's absolute Bush League by Russ McQuaid. I'm sorry.
There's a couple, don't apologize to me. You don't have to say you're sorry to anybody. I mean, even the headline from Fox 59, quote, good Samaritan with a gun stopped Greenwood Park Mall shooting. Mall had policy against weapons.
Did you read that article?
Yeah.
This is a part of that article. Quote, police say the 22-year-old from Bartholomew County had a legal gun permit. However, according to mall policy, the man should not have been carrying the handgun in the mall in the first place. They wrote a whole article. Fox 59 wrote an entire article about how the hero should not have had a weapon in there because it was a gun-free zone.
What about the shooter? Do they mention how he shouldn't have had a gun in there either?
Fox 59 wasn't the only one. This is the Indy Star. I saw this on their digital platform. Quote, It's against Simon Property Group's policy to bring a weapon into the mall. But did an armed bystander who stopped the shooter break the law?
The answer is no, by the way. He didn't.
Right. We saved you the click. No. No, he did not break the law. And we'll have Guy Relford in here in just a few minutes to go into all of the detail of why that's the case.
Plenty of people praising the hero that stopped the shooter, including the Greenwood Mall and the Greenwood mayor, right?
So the Greenwood mayor, Mark Myers, puts out a statement, quote, "Someone we are calling the Good Samaritan was able to shoot the assailant and stop further bloodshed. This person saved lives tonight. On behalf of the city of Greenwood, I'm grateful for this quick action and heroism in this situation." This is a representative from the Greenwood Park Mall, a Simon property, quote, "We are grateful for the strong response of our first responders, including the heroic actions of the Good Samaritan who stopped the suspect." So the mall is calling him a Good Samaritan. Greenwood's mayor is, the police is, but you got woke newsroom people around the city of Indianapolis who have a problem with it. And it's disgusting.
Russ McQuaid called him a second shooter.
Right. The second shooter. Unbelievable. And if that wasn't enough, there was more drama on the South Side last night in Beech Grove. This happened at Don Chalice Park, which, if you're familiar with Beech Grove, this is on 9th Street, right next to South Grove Elementary. There was a candlelight vigil taking place. A family and friends, they got together. They were doing a candlelight vigil for an individual who had passed away recently. Next thing you know, there's some sort of argument between what I'm being told are women, and next thing you know, there's gunfire. And 4 people total were shot. 1 person was killed. And because of what had transpired in Greenwood just 3 hours before then, there weren't a lot of EMS vehicles able to come to Beech Grove to help out and rescue as quickly as they would have wanted to.
Are you familiar with that park? You're from there, right?
Very much so, man. I've had picnics there. They've got like a big...
It's a nice place?
Yeah, it's a nice place. Playground equipment. You can play volleyball there. You can do like little meetings there because they've got an overhead with your picnic tables. Very peaceful, clean place.
Police are looking for some men in a white car, I believe. They have not arrested anybody yet.
Right. Now, they don't believe this was an act of random violence. This was a targeted attack. Not that this makes anybody feel any better, but yeah, it was a crazy, crazy night on the south side of Indianapolis. But these people who were upset that the shooter was killed by a right-to-carry, well-trained citizen, these people are ridiculous. I'm disgusted by some of the things that you see on social media and some of the media members in this city. It takes a lot to make me upset on social media. I mean, Nigel, we see some ridiculous stuff. But for people going out of their way to say, well, he shouldn't have had a gun in the mall. Because of this 22-year-old kid, lives were saved.
Thank God he ignored the gun-free zone sign.
All right, we've got Alan Green in the traffic center today.
Thanks, guys. 65 northbound slows up from 70 to Meridian, partially from an earlier accident. 465 eastbound from Man to Bluff. Traffic is hitting the brakes there, and it's also heavy eastbound between 31 and 65. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpaHotTub.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Cloudy skies, 83 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And again, coming up at 3:35, Guy Relford will be in studio with us. We've got a lot of stuff to unpack here. Do not go anywhere. We got wall-to-wall coverage of everything that took place yesterday and last night. The Chief of Police of Beech Grove will join us coming up a little bit later on. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The amount of money our clients receive with a simple cash-out refinance is life-changing. Learn more and get pre-approved at thehomeloanexpert.com.
NMLS number 1326-241.
Does your financial advisor regularly outperform the market? The way 2022 is headed, I am doubting it. average index losses already 5 to 10%, then there's inflation. And, of course, the fees you're likely paying your advisor. Dan Dockage here to put a stop to that. Don't let another advisor ride the market down with your money. Instead, do what I've done. Connect with Crown Haven. Crown Haven's priority is to create a secure retirement free from financial stress. That starts with their registered Retire Shield financial plan. Crown Haven creates opportunities that gives you confidence in your financial future. The result is your happiness in retirement, a retirement that you've worked many years to produce and deserve to enjoy, free from financial worry. To learn more, visit www.crownhaven.com to qualify for a free planning session. Crown Haven is working for me. They can work for you. Go to crownhaven.com or give them a call right now at 765-522-7233. Tell them Dan sent you to Crown Haven Wealth Advisors.
Guys, if you need an annual health exam, check out the Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They'll check all of your levels, not just your T level. In most cases, it's completely covered by your health insurance. And if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for a full lab panel and office visit with the medical provider. And they give you a complete health assessment. Low T Center, specializing in men's health. Go to lowtcenter.com right now. Book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Fine jewelry from Shane Company makes a great gift because it has so much sentimental value. It can hold a memory, carry a story, or signify a special event in your life. We design our jewelry in-house to ensure every piece is crafted to the highest standards. And we back that up with our free lifetime warranty. Whether you get a diamond necklace, a tennis bracelet, or a stunning 3-stone anniversary ring, Shane Company's classic styles have a beauty and elegance that will be appreciated forever. We also have trending new styles, like our 14-karat gold zodiac charms, fun paperclip chains, luminous opal earrings and pendants, as well as a truly special limited edition collection featuring cherry pink tourmaline sourced by Tom Shane. Make your gift even more special by personalizing it with a birthstone or an engraving. Capture your sentiment with a gift from Shane Company.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
The reality of owning property is that it can sometimes become a burden. Maybe you own a vacant, condemned, or foreclosed property. Maybe you need to move fast for work or a family emergency. Perhaps you inherited a home, got a divorce, or just can't maintain the home you currently have. Getting free of that burden with cash in hand is easier than you think. Enhanced Property Solutions makes it simple for you to sell your property fast for cash on the date you pick. Any condition. No realtors, no fees, no hassles. EnhancedPropertySolutions.com or call 317-676-2050.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong.
I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic.
Probiotics? They don't really work.
It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at alignprobiotics.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Clark, host of Consider This, found right here Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Grab a cup of coffee and join me as we talk about things you should consider affecting your financial future.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers. Recycle your e-waste. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
And we're back.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
Pretty stunning poll out of Florida when you're talking about DeSantis and Trump in a GOP primary. We'll get to that here in just a second. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer back from vacation. Dude, I was feeling so bad for you Saturday night. You're giving me and Rob Kendall updates about how your flight was delayed like 5 times flying back out of Tampa because of weather. That sucks. There's nothing worse than a late night flight. You can't go to a hotel room. You have to leave. It looks like you guys kept pretty busy throughout your last day in Florida. You went bowling and drinking and went to a movie.
Right.
Did you go to one of those movie theaters where you could get a beer?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we went to see, what did you see, Minions with the kids?
It was the one that was playing at the time that we needed it to play. So we watched the Minions movie.
Oh, and so like millions of other Americans have been experiencing over the past year, your flights were delayed. Now, I think it was due to weather and not some sort of staffing or pilot issue, right?
Right. The weather is why our flights were delayed, but it was staffing issues as to why a lot of the restaurants and bars were closed down.
Oh, that's miserable.
7 o'clock Saturday night in Tampa's airport. Now, keep in mind, this isn't like Billings, Montana. This is Tampa.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah, it's
vacation destination, right? International airport. Everything was closed at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night except for one bar and a Wendy's. And that's it.
I bet you were patronizing that bar frequently.
And the Wendy's, to be honest with you. Mondo?
Well, did you get the strawberry frosty?
I did not.
Oh, come on.
Dude, I mean,
that's funny.
all of the restaurants, I was asking around, it's like, do they normally close at 7? Because I'm looking stuff up on my phone. It's like, no, it's supposed to be 9 or 10, but staffing issues.
So what time did you get in?
About 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. You texted us at 2 a.m. I got up to
Should
take
have been 9:30 at night taking off, home at 11:50.
Brutal.
No.
This makes me never want to fly ever again with those kinds of delays. Now you have older kids. My kids are younger. They would have been hellions, you know.
Oh man, airlines are a mess.
But
though,
so
man.
did you? And it's it's a good thing you beat the weather here because
we arrived during it.
Oh, but
when we were landing, I could see the lightning like shooting across the sky.
Oh wow.
So, I'm kind of white-knuckling a little bit as we come close to landing.
I did appreciate the picture that Hammer sent me with his best Jim Cantori impression.
So the last night we were there in its entirety, big, badass storm comes through. I mean, palm trees are swaying, ocean waves, white caps. So I go out on the beach because I'm an idiot, and because this is the closest I'm ever going to get to covering a hurricane. That's one thing I want to do in my broadcast career is cover a hurricane. That's probably the only chance I have.
I'll never forget. It was daytime flying back out of Tampa. Me and a bunch of my buddies, we'd been drinking. One of my buddies wasn't drinking that day, but the weather was really bad, and we could see some dark skies coming. We were like, there's no way we're going to fly into that, right? Well, the airline attendant came on and said, everybody on the plane, we're going to try to get ahead of this storm. Like we're going to be like an Independence Day when the plane escapes the nuclear blast or whatever.
Right.
Flies right out. It was barely like we saw the black sky chasing us, and it was one of the bumpiest flights I'd ever had in my life. And I had a good buzz going on, man. I didn't care, but my sober buddy looked like he wanted to die, and I just remember laughing at my friend Brian.
Oh,
so,
man.
yeah, no, I've been there, and we eventually got away from the storm. We beat it.
I will say this, the roads in Florida, substantially better than the roads we have here in Indy.
Interesting.
And nothing feels better than that first shower back home in your own shower. Because I loved the place we stayed at. Had a beautiful suite, man. It was awesome. But I need a lot of water pressure, and I want it hotter than hell. And sometimes I can't have those demands met in a hotel room.
Real quick, just this Florida poll has DeSantis at 61 points, Trump 39 points in terms of a GOP primary. That's a blowout. And you have to keep in mind, Trump carried that state twice. Who did he defeat there? Rubio. Easy win in 2016, Rubio. So that's a pretty big deal, I think. And I think even though DeSantis sort of trailing Trump in the polls nationwide, I think that has more to do with name recognition than anything.
Right.
So if you're not going to get a bigger name than Trump, but thanks to all the big GOP donors, I mean, look, DeSantis outraised Trump this year so far, the first 6 months.
Oh, he's doing some fundraising.
So if name recognition is the thing, it might be you could overcome that problem with donors and some of Trump's donors that he wooed away from him, and then maybe negative polling convinces Trump to bow out gracefully in 2024. Who knows?
You think that's going to happen? You think the old man's going to bow out gracefully?
You see something like this, and it could be an indicative, like I said, I mean, name recognition is a problem in the rest of the country, but with the donors and with the right-wing media coming to help DeSantis, that's a problem he could overcome. I don't want Trump to run. I want DeSantis to run in 2024. I think he'd just wipe it up.
And that's not because you didn't like what you got from Donald Trump. It's because DeSantis seems like easier to win. Like he's got a better chance to win. No one's going to right now, I don't think, come out and say, Florida man bad, like Orange man bad, the way they do Donald Trump. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Why did Mayo Clinic choose Hancock Health as a member of its select Mayo Clinic Care Network? It might have been the fact that we have one of the nation's safest hospitals. It could have been our high patient satisfaction scores. It's somewhat less likely that it was our cafeteria's sushi Thursdays, but we doubt if that hurt anything. See what Hancock Health's new clinical collaboration with Mayo Clinic means for you at hancockregional.org/Mayo Clinic.
Interest rate hikes are slowing home price growth, but you can still get top dollar for your home right now with Mark Dietel. Maybe you want to maximize your equity now while you can, but you are not sure where to move next. Mark Dietel guarantees multiple offers on your home in 3 days or it's listed for free. Get maximum convenience and maximum sales price. Listen to what Randy in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Dietel. I had a rental property I was ready to sell to cash out in our hot market. Selling fast was good, but more importantly, I was looking to sell for top dollar. Mark Dietel delivered both. I got 20 offers and sold for $15,000 over high asking in a few weeks. Mark is the guy to get the best price in Indianapolis. Call the agent I recommend and trust. Mark Dietel guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value, or it's listed for free. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
I ask that they might all be one.
Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis.
This was the great prayer for unity that Jesus prayed for his disciples. Unity is at the heart of his desire for us today. But how can this be when God's people are so different, distinct, and separated from one another? This is the miracle of God's work in the church. It is our common faith in Jesus that brings us together now and always. Rather than focusing on those things that divide the body of Christ, it is our desire at TAB to focus on the one who unites us. We invite you to experience this unity in Christ for yourself by visiting us in person or at tabpres.org.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What they know so far. A gloomy Monday, currently 84, lows down to the 60s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Had Elijah Dicken not been shopping at Greenwood Park Mall Sunday evening, the shooter may have killed many more people. Chris Davis reports on what police know.
Dicken is being praised. He had no police training, but his aim was true.
The shooter fired several rounds, striking the suspect. The suspect attempted to retreat back into the restroom and fell to the ground after being shot.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen. Dicken was able to stop Jonathan Supierman less than 2 minutes after he came out of the restroom and began shooting, killing Victor Gomez first, aiming into the food court then with his rifle, killing husband and wife Pedro and Rosa Pineda of Indianapolis. Then Dicken intervened.
This young man, Greenwood's good Samaritan, acted within seconds, stopping the shooter and saving countless lives.
Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers. Supierman had been laid off from a warehouse job in May have been served eviction papers, and did not drive, walking to the mall to carry out the shooting. He had no adult criminal record. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A jury will now decide the future of Nicholas Cruz. He's already pleaded guilty to killing 17 students and staff at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida in 2018. He could face life in prison or the death penalty. It would take a unanimous decision from the jury for the second option to happen. An extreme heat warning is in effect for the first time ever in large parts of England. Met Office Chief Meteorologist Paul Davies.
It does worry me a lot, and my colleagues here in the Met Office, that this sort of unprecedented heat could be a regular occurrence by the end of the century.
Many are working from home today because it's so hot. And Dr. Anthony Fauci says he now plans to retire. He'll do so at the end of President Biden's current term. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Hello, Indianapolis. Looking to save money on your wireless bill? You can when you choose Consumer Cellular. Sign up today and you'll get the exact same coverage as the leading carriers for half the cost. This gives you direct access to the widest, most established cellular networks available. Consumer Cellular offers flexible monthly plans with no contract and simple, affordable service that's perfect for your lifestyle and budget. Featuring a wide variety of top-of-the-line phones from Samsung, Motorola, and Apple, you'll find a phone that's perfect for you. Everything is backed by a 100% risk-free guarantee, plus 100% U.S.-based award-winning customer support. Switch your talk, text, and data today and save up to $250 a year. Right-size your plan and downsize your bill with Consumer Cellular. Visit consumercellular.com/Indianapolis to start seeing the savings today.
With traffic, Alan Green.
Thank you, Harrison. 465 eastbound slows up from Keystone to 69. Eastbound on the south side, it backs up from White River to Keystone. 65 northbound, Edgewood to 465, some delays. Eastbound Rockville is tight from Reagan Parkway to Raceway. This report's brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds decrease, some patchy fog, low of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and a little bit humid. High temperature reaches 90 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morris for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the Gun Guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, also joining us live in studio. Second Amendment attorney and scholar. Also licensed firearms instructor, host of the Gun Guy Show here on 93 WIBC. Guy Relford joining us. How are you?
Man, I'm great. Been a busy day, but we always want to thank our sponsors at Fort Liberty Firearms in Avon, 8401 East Highway 36. Great place to buy firearms, ammunition, and accessories. Check out my buddies and their new safe showroom that they have there at Fort Liberty. They're at fortlibertyfirearms.com.
So just an awful, horrifying moment at the Greenwood Park Mall. Deaths resulting in the deaths of 3 innocent people. A shooter walks into food court, opens fire. Thank God a private armed citizen was there, lawfully armed, and killed the gunman. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, I saw this unfold like a lot of folks, where I saw initially people post things on social media, and then I saw the news come out. I now have been retained as the lawyer for the Good Samaritan who saved countless lives that day, which I'm very, very proud of. I'm very proud that
Elijah Dickin, correct?
Yeah, and Elijah's
from
name
Seymour.
Down the Columbus area,
Mm-hmm.
but just. His name just came out this afternoon, but he and his family decided to retain me as their attorney, which I'm very proud of, and I'm honored to be involved because he saved countless lives that day. That changes, the discussion a little bit in terms of what I can and can't get into, but I can certainly say that my initial impression, and this is before I was involved directly as a lawyer, is that thank God there was a person there not only capable but willing to do what he did, which was save a lot of innocent lives.
22 years old.
Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, when we were all 22 years old, we're probably trying to get drunk, get lucky. Those are the main things that we're worried about. This was a kid that not only illegally had a firearm, but had the proper training. And I think that's the most important part of this story.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to get into the specifics of Eli and some of those issues, but look, his actions speak for themselves, and that's what I think we all ought to be thankful for, just as members of the community, that there are people in Greenwood alive today because someone had not only the wherewithal, but let's don't forget the legal capacity to be armed. Because there are an awful lot of people out there that would love to take that right away from us. And here he had the legal capacity, he had the willingness, and then he had the courage to act and save innocent lives. And he can't be possibly praised enough for that.
Well, let's talk about what's legal and illegal. First of all, you don't have to say, I know you can't mention specifics, but the Greenwood police chief said in his press conference today, paraphrasing, that he was very technically sound in the way he engaged the shooter, and yes, did save lives. And the police chief of Greenwood made it sound like there was quite a distance between them when he first started to engage, and again, coming from the police chief, was waving people behind him and helping them get out of harm's way. There was a gun-free, zone sign. I mean, supposedly there's a policy with Simon Malls that says you're not allowed to bring a gun into the mall. Did he do anything illegal?
Absolutely not. And again, while I don't want to get into the specifics of the case, I can speak to Indiana law all day long. I taught this point in my gun law class that I taught on Saturday at the Lebanon Police Department. I can show you the slides because they go directly on this, which is a property owner, a business owner can have whatever policy they want. I can have a no Tom Brady jersey policy at my law office, right? And
I will support you on that.
Absolutely. So somebody tries to come in there with a Tom Brady jersey, just from walking in and ignoring my sign, they're not breaking the law. They're just violating my policy. Or a no mask, or rather masks required sign. Right? How many times have you seen one of those? Mask required in this business. How many businesses have you walked in, past one of those signs? Are you breaking the law? No. Well, it's no different. In Indiana, and this is different in some other states, in Indiana, you don't break a law in any way, shape, or form if you ignore a no gun sign. It's just like no mask, or rather mask required, or no shirt, no shoes, no service. That's the property owner's policy, and if they see you violating their policy, they can ask you to leave. If you leave, no harm, no foul. Now, if you're asked to leave and you refuse, you could potentially be prosecuted for criminal trespass. But that's a whole different issue here. No one confronted him. No one asked him to leave. So simply violating a no-gun policy, in this case, has no legal significance whatsoever.
Now, there's a lot of places that have these policies in place, gun-free zones. You see those signs a lot. So if I understand this correctly, the law in Indiana is you can ignore that and walk in with your legal firearm, but that business could, one, ask you to leave, or two, refuse service.
Absolutely. And it's their business. And some people have come out and said, well, we need to eliminate business owners or property owners' ability to have no firearm policies. And I've actually opposed that. I've come out and said, hold on, it's their property. I mean, I respect property rights just like I do gun rights. So they ought to be able to run their business or operate their property the way they want to. At the same time, it's not a crime to ignore their policy.
So where does this leave places like the Field House or Lucas Oil Stadium?
Well, the same thing. I mean, it's not illegal. They have a no gun policy.
They have security, though. I mean, you ain't getting in there with one anyway.
And they can, wand you or make you walk through a metal detector, and then they say, hey, yo, guy, you have a gun. You have to leave. If I go, oh, oops, I forgot I had that, then all I do is go put it in my car. Or theoretically, they could, revoke your license, or I don't know, maybe even take your season tickets away if you signed a ticket contract, that says you wouldn't do that, something along those lines. But you're still not committing a crime. There's no law in Indiana that says it's a crime to walk past a no gun sign. There is that law in some other states. Texas has that law, and a few other states do as well. But we don't have that law in Indiana. So the Simon Mall no gun policy is irrelevant from a legal perspective.
Do we want to take a break and do another segment here?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Because we got a lot of stuff to unpack. We had a shooting in Beech Grove. We've got more questions about Greenwood. Can you stick around for one more break?
Absolutely, you guys.
All right, Monday Gun Day. Guy Relford joining us. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I don't always black out when I'm drunk.
My kids can't tell that I'm high, so it's okay.
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink in the morning.
I still have a job, so my drug use isn't a problem.
I can stop using whenever I want.
Don't ignore the signs of addiction. You don't have to wait until it's too late to get help. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to provide affordable and effective addiction treatment. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to get help today.
NASCAR and IndyCar action return for Brickyard Weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Saturday, July 30th, catch a doubleheader featuring the NTT IndyCar Series Gallagher Grand Prix, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 150. Then Sunday, the 31st, the NASCAR Cup Series Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. Experience the roar and power of NASCAR and the speed and precision of IndyCar in one exciting family-friendly race weekend. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now at ims.com.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Are you feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Costs may be rising, but with Golden Oak Lending's fixed rates, you can give yourself a raise.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
It only takes a few minutes to see if you can save hundreds. Our average cash out customer saves $904 each month.
So what are you waiting for? Lock in our low rate while you still can. Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments.
Call your local loan officers at 317-706-GOLD while there are still millions of dollars available. Plus, you pay nothing out of pocket.
That's right. If we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge.
Get relief from high prices by calling 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Discover Masterpiece Quilts at the International Quilters Hall of Fame celebration in Marion, Indiana, July 21st through 23rd. This amazing celebration features world-class exhibits, great workshops and lectures, and the induction of the 2022 honoree. Get details at showmegrantcounty.com. Grant County, Indiana. Classic cool.
Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Hills of Brown Vacation Rentals invites you to come experience summer in the Brown County woods. Wildflowers springing up everywhere. Enjoy that peace and wonder of Brown County with a cabin rental through Hills of Brown Vacation Rentals. Cabins of all sizes, seclusion in the woods, or stay in Nashville near all the shopping and enjoy dining at the many great restaurants. Most Hills of Brown cabins have hot tubs and game rooms. Fantastic weekday specials available. Mention radio for 10% off any non-discounted stay. Find your cabin at browncountylogcabins.com. browncountylogcabins.com.
August 11, returning to Carmel for one night only at the Palladium, the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Tickets on sale now at the Center's box office or online at thecenterpresents.org.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Alan Green has a look at the roads.
Indeed, I do. 465 eastbound slows up from Man to Keystone. Eastbound Rockville, delay from Reagan Parkway to Country Club Road. 465 on the north side. Eastbound traffic heavy from Keystone to 69. And what else do we have here? We've got this report brought to you by Royal Spa. That's what we've got. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
84 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center here at 93 WIBC.
Hey!
My name is Nigel. Hammer's over there. The gun guy, Guy Relford, here joining us in the studio. Again, just to recap, shooter walks into the food court at Greenwood Park Mall yesterday, opens fire. 3 people killed. A private armed citizen that was there shot and killed the gunman, possibly saving many more lives. That person's name was 22-year-old Elijah Dicken, and he has retained your services as counsel, Guy. So can you tell us how he's doing? I don't know how much you're allowed to say. Maybe we could speak in general terms of somebody that takes a life of somebody like that, even though, there is somebody dead.
Well, absolutely.
That could shake a person up.
Well, listen, I'll speak in generalities, and this is all true of Eli, and that is that, I've now represented multiple people who have been in this situation, who have acted completely lawfully, completely justifiably, never a hint that they did anything illegal. At the same time, is something they've got to live with. Right, I've talked to you guys about the case of Kirsty Janin, who saved the life of a police officer, and that ended up being the main motivation for us to pass the new immunity law, right? Because she got sued for it, which was ridiculous. And Elijah Elliott, who was the hero in the Kroger at 71st and Georgetown, and the gentleman here just a year and a half, 2 years ago in Brownsburg, who rescued a cemetery worker whose coworker had just been murdered by a guy going through a complete psychiatric breakdown. And this gentleman, saved a life, and probably saved dozens of lives, because that guy still had 30 or 40 rounds left in his gun when my client stepped in and saved all those innocent lives. And so, I've been down this road and in dealing with these folks. I'll just talk in generalities, because I don't want to, invade.
Even though you saved lives, you took a life.
You still took a life, and none of us, want to do a victory lap over that. None of us want to high five over that. That's a very solemn, significant, life-changing event. And I won't invade Eli's privacy by talking about how he's reacting necessarily individually, but I'll tell you that generally speaking, and this is universally true, these are good people who did good things, but still have to live with a very somber and solemn and significant event for the rest of their lives. And generally speaking, they'll tell you that they absolutely, that people want to pat them on the back and call them heroes, and that's great. At the same time, they'll often tell you it was the worst day of their lives, and they wish it never happened.
Guy, I'm going to play you a piece of audio. We played it earlier in the show. This was the press conference yesterday. It's the Greenwood police chief going over what took place. And then you've got a local reporter. I believe you're familiar with Mr. Russ McQuaid.
Yeah, I think so.
Who, to me, and again, maybe it's me, it sounds like Russ McQuaid of Fox 59 CBS 4 going out of his way to call your client, what I'm calling as a hero, the second gunman, the second shooter.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It appears that a good Samaritan that was armed observed the shooting in progress and shot the shooter.
And before you said you had one shooter, but I think what you meant is you've got one shooter down and then the shooter who took him down. So you've got 2 shooters?
We have one shooter responsible for the incident and one good Samaritan who shot the person responsible.
Maybe it's because it's a sensitive subject, but the minute I heard that, I was so angry, Guy. Is it me? Am I the only one that feels that way hearing that?
I think without the history here over the last year, 2-3 years from Russ, that we wouldn't have reacted that way, because I reacted exactly the same way. To be honest, though, because I've even listening to it again just now, if I hadn't heard him ridicule me personally because I was fighting for constitutional carry, or heard him he talks about the proverbial good guy with a gun before this event unfolded, in ridiculing constitutional carry or ridiculing those of us who fight for 2A rights. He has these sarcastic posts and references where he's talking about the proverbial good guy with a gun as if it never happens. And for his position on those issues, this story is completely antithetical to all that. This goes right there and says, hey, Russ, all that sarcasm, all that condescension, just shove this right up where it doesn't shine, buddy. And I'm sure that's how he's seeing these facts. And I think without that history, though, I wouldn't have reacted like you did. But frankly, I reacted just like you did.
And it wasn't just Russ. The Fox 59 digital team puts out this ridiculous headline. The Indy Star puts out a ridiculous headline, basically trying to make an angle of this story that your now client, he shouldn't have been there with a gun either. Like he's a bad guy in this whole thing.
Well, yeah, think of it just like he was, in a mall that required masks, and he didn't have his mask on at the time he saved countless lives. That's what you want to whine about? That's what you want to whine about.
People have a problem with the term Good Samaritan. Whoever the traffic guy is for CBS 4 Indy, like, why do I care what the traffic anchor thinks about this? But he said this. Justin Collar is his name. The term Good Samaritan came from a Bible passage of a man from Samaria who stopped on the side of the road to help a man who was injured and ignored. I can't believe we live in a world where the term can equally apply to someone killing someone. My God.
Who was this beta?
It's the traffic guy for CBS 4 Indy, the traffic anchor.
Okay.
Care less of this doofus thinks. The term Good Samaritan is not being used, like, whether or not it's being used correctly. It's just a general description of this guy that didn't have to do what he did.
Ask someone who was in the sights of this mass shooter,
please.
Right? Who was? Or you ask the mother of the child who was going to be mowed down in the next 10 seconds if this hero hadn't done what they've done. Okay, don't call him Good Samaritan. Call him a hero. I'm good with that. But to say that doesn't apply, I'm very familiar. I've listened to my dad preach, the story of the Good Samaritan 1,000 times in my dad's church, and you don't have to tell me what the story out of the Bible means. Come on, beta male, boy, you couldn't have been more right on that one, Jason. Give me a break.
Is there anybody that has changed their mind about this story because the traffic guy from CBS 4 put out a scathing tweet? Well, I really thought Elijah was a hero and he saved lives, but the traffic guy from CBS 4, along with Russ McQuaid,
they really put it into perspective for me. He's not a hero.
Maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way.
Because you know what? Not everybody's Matt Baer.
That's right.
You know what? I mean, let's face it, because when Matt Baer speaks, the world listens. So, yeah, the guy from CBS 4, not so much.
Got about a minute left here. Greenwood wasn't the only shooting yesterday.
Right.
Beech Grove had a shooting in a park late in the evening around 9:30. 4 people shot, 1 person dead. Your thoughts on what was a pretty bad look for the South Side this entire weekend, Guy? Put it in perspective here.
Well, it was, and again, it just goes to show you that when these things unfold, because I've seen this reaction since both events, you've gotten 2 diametrically opposed reactions. You've got people that look at it and say, "Wow, the world's going to hell," and woe is me, and gun violence this and gun violence that. Then you have people who look at it and say, "You know what? Coming out of this, the lesson I've learned is I need to have the capacity, the ability, and the willingness to defend myself and my family. And I'm going to make sure that I have that going forward." I developed that mentality about 30, 40 years ago, and that's how I've lived my life. I think the events of this weekend are going to lead that many more people to do it. And I'm very proud to say here in Indiana, we're very well positioned in terms of the laws we have here and the constitutional rights that we respect here in this state to allow people to do exactly that. And this weekend bears that out.
Real quick, if anybody wants to continue this conversation, where can they go?
relfordlaw.com. Best place to get a hold of me. It's got my phone numbers and email, relfordlaw.com.
Guy Relford, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Yeah, guys, look, there's a lot of people talking about testosterone, but make sure to do your homework and be sure to go to someone, a provider that you can trust. We recommend Low T Center on this show. Low T Center exclusively specializes in men's wellness, and they check all of your levels. And I'm not just talking about testosterone. They'll determine the cause of any symptoms you're having and whether or not you're a candidate for low T or something else like low thyroid or even sleep apnea. And they could test everything from PSA, which is your prostate levels, cholesterol, thyroid, liver, all at Low T Center.
The Low T Center has affordable and convenient options for treatment, including monitored self-inject treatments that ship directly to your home. Make your health a priority and schedule that annual health assessment at the Low T Center. It's covered by most health insurance or less than $100 cash pay. Go to lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com. Book today. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
You might be working with someone to manage your wealth, but is the relationship working for you? Join Edelman Financial Engines tomorrow at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our brand new virtual event, Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters, presented by best-selling author Gene Chatsky. You can register now at planefe.com. You'll see why all financial planners are not created equal. Gene will show you why having the right partner can have a big impact on your financial future and how to know if your advisor is looking out for your best interests. Don't miss this important virtual event. Join us for Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters with Gene Chatsky tomorrow at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no cost to attend and no obligation. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
Want to explore using Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits to heat and cool your home or business? Learn more at absolutecomfort.org. That's absolutecomfort.org.
Furniture Installers of Indiana can handle your office furniture needs no matter how large or how small. They've been doing it for over 30 years. Bring professional furniture solutions to your home or commercial office space. Learn more at FurnitureInstallers.us.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win tickets to see the Zac Brown Band at Ruoff Music Center on Thursday, July 28th.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the victims of the Greenwood shooting. 1 killed, 4 hurt in Beech Grove, and why a 20-year-old was arrested in Fishers. All that and more after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Protecting marriage rights. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Some lawmakers are moving on legislation that would codify marriage protections following last month's Supreme Court ruling on abortion access.
House Democrats intend to vote this week on the Respect for Marriage Act legislation in response to last month's Supreme Court opinion overturning abortion protections in Roe v. Wade. Critics of that opinion say state legislatures could challenge other court precedents like protecting same-sex marriage and contraception. Last week, near party line votes in the House approved legislation codifying abortion protections nationwide. Those bills are not expected to advance in the 50-50 divided Senate.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. A Texas legislative investigation into the Uvalde, Texas elementary school shooting shows hundreds of officers went to Robb Elementary School on May 24th, but didn't go into the classroom and take down the shooter for 72 minutes. 19 young students and 2 teachers died in that attack. We're getting new details this afternoon about a mall shooting in Indiana last night that left 3 people killed and 2 others injured. A 20-year-old gunman opened fire, killing the 3 before 22-year-old Elijah Dickin shot and killed the suspect with a gun he was legally allowed to carry.
He is requesting you give him time to process and grieve himself before reaching out to him.
Greenwood Police Chief James Eisen hailing Dickin as a hero. Officials say the suspected shooter shot his victims with a rifle, but had at least 2 other weapons and 100 rounds of ammunition. Wall Street starting the week in the red. The Dow closing 217 points lower at 31,072. The S&P falling 32, with the Nasdaq ending the day 92 points lower. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Who they were. Partly cloudy downtown. Currently 83. Clouds should hang around tonight. Lows in the 60s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. 30-year-old Victor Gomez, 37-year-old Rosa Pineda, and her husband Pedro, age 56, were the victims of the mass shooting at the Greenwood Park Mall Sunday evening.
I grieve for these senseless killings
and I ache for the scars that are left behind on the victims and on our community.
Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers. Elijah Dickin, a 22-year-old from Seymour, shot and killed the shooter, ID'd as Jonathan Spearman. Dickin's actions likely saved the lives of many.
We're very thankful for a young 22-year-old man who stopped this violent act.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen says Spearman came to the mall armed with several guns.
A Sig Sauer Model 400M 5.56 caliber weapon, rifle. It was purchased on March 8th, 2022 here in Greenwood.
Spearman had walked to the mall Sunday night. He was in the bathroom near the food court for over an hour before he walked out and began shooting. He was 20 years old and didn't have much of a record.
He has a juvenile record and no criminal history as an adult. His past incidents with the Greenwood Police Department include minor offenses as a juvenile, such as a fight at school and being a juvenile runaway.
He tried to destroy a cell phone and a laptop. The FBI is looking at those to find a possible motive. One person was killed. Several others were hurt in a shooting at a park in Beech Grove Sunday night. Police say they're looking for a Toyota Camry, and there may have been 2 to 3 black men inside. A suspect has not been named. In Fishers, police arrested a man they believe broke into several vehicles Friday. 20-year-old Roman Minosi was arrested and faces charges of theft and unauthorized entry into a vehicle. Quite a bit of rainfall across Indiana this weekend.
Well, I got to say, for those who got rain, be glad that you got it because we do go back into a drier pattern.
Meteorologist Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service. He says expect a dry week ahead. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
With traffic at 4:05, here's Alan Green.
Thank you, Harrison. 465 eastbound is heavy from Keystone to 69. On the south side, it slows from Kentucky to White River, again from 65 to Southeastern Avenue. And eastbound Rockville from Reagan Parkway to Country Club, traffic stacks up a bit. This report brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and the Indiana Fever aid food insecurity at Brookside School 54 at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds decrease, some patchy fog, low of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and a little bit humid. High temperature reaches 90 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morris for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. 4 people fatally shot at Greenwood Park Mall, including 1 woman and 3 men. The gunman was among the dead, including in that number that I just gave you. He was shot by a hero, some calling him a good Samaritan, a 22-year-old from Seymour, Columbus area. Elijah Dickin is his name, Hammer, and who knows the damage that could have been done had he not been there, a private armed citizen there in the food court opening fire.
Kyle, our producer, Kyle Wells, a.k.a. TKW, we call him Mega Mondo, that's his wrestling persona. You were there yesterday, probably about an hour before the gunman arrived. Is that correct?
Yeah, this one really hits home. I was at the food court eating sarku.
About an hour and a half before the gunman arrived at the Greenwood Park Mall.
Okay, so you weren't there for this.
No, I was.
Okay.
Fortunately, I was not there.
But you had just been there.
But I had just been there hours before.
In the food court.
In the food court. And it just, like I said, it really hits because that could have been me had this, guy decided to do the shooting earlier. But luckily, Elijah Dickin was there. And I'll go on the record and say it. He's a good Samaritan. He's a hero. And yeah, he saved a lot of lives yesterday.
You're not the only one to call him a good Samaritan. This was the chief of police, Jim Eisen from Greenwood.
Our officers responded the way they should have, very quickly, and I'm extremely proud of the law enforcement response, not only from the Greenwood Police Department, but as you can see behind me, the multi-jurisdictional cooperation that we have. It was so fast. Self-reporting from home when they heard about it. Impd SWAT team members were here just as quick as ours were. It was a very, very fast response. But I'm going to tell you, the real hero of the day is the citizen that was lawfully carrying a firearm in that food court and was able to stop this shooter almost as soon as he began.
And Nigel, we talked about this a little bit last break. There are some people losing their minds about this 22-year-old who saved lives at the mall in Greenwood.
They're worried that they're like everybody's saying, yeah, it's not. You shouldn't use the term "good Samaritan." He's not a good Samaritan. Like people are getting caught up on the whatever the true biblical meaning of the word "good Samaritan" is, and it's just like that's what you're taking away from this. You've seen the tweets. I just read one from the traffic guy at CBS 4 that got like 6,800 likes. Well, it got picked up by Fox News. This Justin Kohler guy. The term Good Samaritan came from a Bible passage of a man, Samaria, stopped on the side of the road to help a man that was injured and ignored. I can't believe we live in a world where the term can equally apply to someone killing someone. My God. That's your takeaway from all this? the usage of the meaning of the words Good Samaritan? Who else was saying stuff?
There's this comedian, John Fugelsang, huge lefty, big lib.
Oh, I've heard of him.
The Good Samaritan paid for an unknown immigrant's health care out of pocket. The Good Samaritan did not shoot anyone. Jesus was not a fan of killing for any reason, including self-defense. Then you've got Shannon Watts, the Moms Demand Action founder. You knew she was going to weigh in. Quote, I don't know who needs to hear this, but when a 22-year-old illegally brings a loaded gun into a mall and kills a mass shooter armed with an AR-15 after he already killed 3 people and wounded others is not a ringing endorsement for our Second Amendment. Like, how many things were wrong with that statement right there? But nobody cares when Shannon's wrong because she gets away with it all the time because she's got friends in the media that carry her water. It's ridiculous.
We're concentrating on the wrong things here, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, the number one point of emphasis should be the victims and their families. I mean, just imagine going to get some dinner at the food court and not walking out. It was a husband and wife that was killed. Another person was killed. A couple of people injured, including, I think, a 12-year-old. And this guy, this 22-year-old hero, Elisha Dickin, who was lawfully armed, stopped the shooter from killing more people. Now that, I don't know how much of a consolation it is for the victims and their families in terms of this hero and doing what he did. But yeah, there's the other factor too, that this hero took a life, and that probably is affecting him right now. I'm just speculating. I don't know for sure, but I'd be shaken to the core if something like that happened to me. And I hope I would have enough I would be brave enough to do what he did, because he didn't have to do what he did. He could have got up and ran away, even though he was armed. So, yeah, I would say he is a pretty good Samaritan in my book.
Now, keep this in mind about the Greenwood Park Mall. This is certainly not the first time they've had violence make their way through. Let's go back to earlier this year. If you remember, they were having a little problem with their parking lots. Employees were getting mugged and accosted in the parking lot, And then a month later, you had the Simon Property Groups moving forward with security upgrades. The Greenwood Park Mall has always had a little bit of some drama going on, but this was a random act. At least we believe that at this time. The official report has not came out yet, but this is a place where let's not act like there haven't been problems before. Now, it wasn't just Greenwood. Yeah. Last night in Beech Grove at the Chalice Park, which is located right next to South Grove Elementary in Beech Grove, 4 people were shot at a candlelight vigil. Family and friends had gathered to do a candlelight vigil to say farewell to somebody who had recently passed away. Yeah. Next thing you know, you've got chicks starting to argue. They get into some sort of dispute, and then gunfire happens. This is Deputy Chief Tom Hurley.
They were there for a vigil for an individual that passed away a few days prior to this. We do know that our current suspect vehicle is a white Toyota Camry. It may have had a window shot out of it. And the suspects, the only thing we know right now is it's 2 to 3 African-American males.
And I'm going to post on Twitter here in just a moment a photo of that vehicle that was sent to us from our friends at the Beech Grove Police Department. And coming up at 4:35, we will have the Chief of Police joining us on this program from Beech Grove for the absolute latest.
You're from Beech Grove. You don't live there anymore. You live close, or you have family that are there. You're familiar with the park in which this happened?
Yes. I've done many events at that park. You know, when I was coaching Little League kids, we used to have like end of the year team picnics at that park. It's a nice area, man. It is. Families go there, you know, they have picnics. There's like a little shelter area. There's a playground for kids. There's a volleyball court, all kinds of things. And a family had gathered there yesterday for this candlelight ceremony. Next thing you know, everybody has to run for their lives as a vehicle comes by and starts spraying gunfire. All right, we got a lot of stuff going on here today. Alan Green is filling in for Matt Baer.
Thank you. 65 southbound is shut down right now between the Clinton-Boone County line and the Lebanon Rest area. It's because of a vehicle fire. 465 eastbound jams up Keystone to 69. Eastbound also from Kentucky to White River, it's backed up. And once more from 65 to Southeastern Avenue. This report's brought to you by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Don't send your kids back to school. Send them forward at Staples, the working and learning store. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, I just tweeted out the photo of the vehicle that's in question for the shooting in Beech Grove last night. You can see that on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. I'll put that up on our Instagram as well. 84 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Why is there church?
Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis.
The word church conjures up many images, but at TAB we believe the church is called to demonstrate the values and practices of the kingdom of God. At TAB we envision a place where people grow strong in faith as they are equipped to serve others, where deep and loving relationships are created, where people work together to strengthen the community, advocate for justice, and promote God's peace and shalom. Oh, we're not there yet. But that is what we desire because we believe that's what God desires for the church, our community, and the world. Come see for yourself or find out more at tabpres.org.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Hard to believe we're already at the halfway point to the baseball season, and you could turn big hits and dingers into big wins with FanDuel Sportsbook before the Midsummer Classic. And right now, new customers get $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with promo code WIBC to get in on that action. FanDuel lets you bet the money line, home run props, strikeout totals, and so much more. Oh, speaking of home runs, the Derby is tonight. If you sign up with my promo code WIBC, you can lay $5 down on Albert Pujols, and if he wins the Derby, you get $120. If not, it doesn't matter because you get $150 in free bets, win or lose. If you haven't tried FanDuel, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. Download the app. Use my promo code WIBC. Must be 21 plus in Indiana. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expired 14 days after receipt. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
As a Shane Company jewelry consultant, I see so many customers who have struggled to find a wedding band at other stores. When they come to Shane Company, they find the one. Not only do we have the widest selection of unique wedding bands, we are also experts at helping you find the perfect band to complement your engagement ring, even if it's an heirloom ring. You can play around with stacking bands, try contour bands, or just go with something simple. There are so many options. We also have handsome men's bands, hundreds of styles to choose from in every price range. You might have no idea what you want, but we'll take the time to show you different metal types, fits, and styles. You can even build your own with our online tool. And we offer a free lifetime warranty. Come see us and we'll help you both find a band that you love wearing every day. For some helpful tips, check out our online wedding band guide.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Do you have a wet basement problem? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, Indy's most trusted basement waterproofer. Your basement is a very important part of your home. Whether it's finished or unfinished, there's nothing worse than a wet, unusable basement. Swanco's basement waterproofing will fix your wet, unusable basement permanently and forever. Protect your greatest asset, your home, by waterproofing your basement today. Call the real, local, family-owned waterproofing experts at Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, 317-407-1868 or SwancoLLC.com.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong.
I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic. Probiotics? They don't really work.
It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at AlignProbiotics.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
On 93 WIBC. Hammer's back from vacation. Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I'm going to run a number of stories by you, Big Nige. You will break down all of the information that's right there on the table, and you will tell all of us if the story is anything or not.
All right.
Dateline, Indiana. An Indiana man, a Hoosier, one of ours, being called a hero after running into a burning home and rescuing 4 children and their 18-year-old sister.
Yeah, that's Lafayette, I think. Yeah.
Here is some of the body cam audio of Nick Bostic bringing one of the children out of the house after jumping out of a second-story window.
Are you Xavion?
Thanks, everybody.
Sit down. Medic.
I need oxygen.
Walk across the street with me.
Are we allowed to call him a good Samaritan, or will Justin Collar from CBS 4 Traffic make another tweet about it?
Will the Indy Star put out a snarky headline? Will comedians in Mom's the Man action have a problem with it?
This man is a hero. He's a good Samaritan. Another example of a hero here in the state of Indiana, running towards danger, rescuing his 18-year-old sister and 4 kids. Again, he didn't have to. He could have ran away, just like the hero in the food court at Greenwood Park Mall yesterday. I love this story. I don't know what this guy does for a living, if he has some sort of background in firefighting. I don't think so, but he is another hero, another example of Hoosiers stepping up to the plate and saving lives. This guy deserves a medal for sure. Do you have an exit plan? Did you ever do fire drills with your kids at the house when they were young? I did.
Absolutely.
I did when I was young. I mean, my parents did them with me. We haven't done it with our kids though. We need to probably develop some sort of plan.
Do you have a plan in place if something squirrely happens at school? Like if there's a shooter or there's a threat?
No.
Oh man, you got to have one of those in place. I mean, it's sad that you have to.
I know.
But
jeez.
Man, everywhere I go, I'm looking around like, all right, there's an exit over there. Like even if it's in church, there's an exit over there.
Yep.
If we get separated, meet at this tree.
Yep.
Or meet at this parking lot or whatever.
Yep, that's always a good plan. It sucks. It stinks that we live in a day and an age where we have to do that, but it's also very smart.
Is this anything? Pearl Jam ended up kicking a woman out of their show in Switzerland when the lady in the audience smacked a guy in the head for recording the entire concert. Here's the moment that Eddie Vedder, frontman of Pearl Jam, stopped the show to kick the chick out.
Hey, turn the lights on, please. I saw the whole thing. I know, it was annoying you. You were bummed out because he was filming the whole time. The thing is, I know it upset you, but you can't hit him in the back of the head either, even though you're a woman. I appreciate the fact that you can be strong. Quit hitting him, you're out of here. The violence is not allowed. I'm sorry, ma'am. There's no violence allowed. You could have waved to me, I was looking right at you. This is not cool, we're not hitting people here. Sorry. Chorus.
Nothing says rock and roll like stopping the show and kicking someone out.
Yeah, this is something. First of all, how annoying would it be if it's standing room only and the guy in front of you is holding up his phone the entire time? I can totally understand where this woman is coming from. Put your phone down. I can't see. Live in the moment. Now, I think it's fine that Eddie Vedder kicked her out. Yeah, no violence at the show. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Yeah, I know the guy's annoying you, but you don't put your hands on another human being. Okay, I get it. Not the first time, Hammer, a lead singer of a world-famous rock band, has stopped the show to toss out people fighting in the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters.
Get the out of my show right now. Get the out. Get the out of my show. You don't come to my show and fight. You come to my show and dance, you ass.
I would say Eddie Vedder may have been a little more diplomatic about the whole thing.
Right.
Dave Grohl, a tad more aggressive.
See, I would have stood up and applauded that. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl, I'm sorry, Eddie Vedder sounded like security. Like, man, come on.
Hey, come on. I know he's annoying you. Good song, though, that they were finishing.
Could you ever see, like, Limp Bizkit in their prime making that
they probably
announcement?
Encourage it.
To the guy in the back that is not fighting, we're going to need you to start. How are we expected to play break stuff if you're not breaking stuff? Is this anything? Listen to this Southwest flight attendant going full throttle on a version of I Will Always Love You on a 6 a.m. flight this past week. 6 a.m.
Yeah, this is something that sucks. You tell me you had to take like a 5 a.m. flight a week ago Thursday when you went down to Florida. No, I wouldn't want to hear that at 6 a.m. Are you crazy? What do you think?
No, I don't want to hear my flight attendants being wacky. Tell me how to put my seatbelt on for, the one moron that doesn't know how to do it. Take the big end, put it into the little end, as we learned in Tommy Boy, and tell us where the exits are at. That's it. I don't need shtick. I don't need vaudeville. Just tell us, where my flotation device is for when we crash into the ocean.
6 a.m. I did see a pretty cool one of a Southwest flight attendant standing on her hands in the middle of the aisle and using her legs to shut the overhead compartments.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, I may have put $1 into her her underpants at that point, but at least that's something, yes. And it's not waking up people who are asleep. That's the key. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Kindergarten? It's closer than you think. Will your child be ready? Let us help with On My Way Pre-K. Your child may qualify for high-quality pre-K right here, close to home. And it could be free. Indiana's On My Way Pre-K program is the best way to ensure your 4-year-old is ready for kindergarten. Get information and eligibility requirements at onmywaypre-k.org. When you want what's best for your child, you want On My Way Pre-K.
Now, here's the deal. Even if you haven't made any updates to your house, your home's value has increased in the last year alone. And with home values reaching all-time highs, you can pull more cash out of your home with Golden Oak. Get a refi from Golden Oak and use that cash for whatever you want. I'm talking put it into savings. Remodel your bathroom. Saving up to $900 a month is that average, man. And we could sure use it right now with Golden Oak.
How would you like to skip not one, but your first 2 mortgage payments? With Golden Oak Lending, you can do that. Plus, you'll never pay for an appraisal up front. And if Golden Oak Lending can't close your loan for any reason at all, the appraisal is no charge. Contact them today, 317-706-GOLD, 317-706-GOLD, or go to goldenoaklending.com. Golden Oak Lending, they want to be your expert lending partner for life. NMLS 114937.
This is Ryan again, owner of Plumbing Heating Paramedics, your trained comfort specialist. Buying a new furnace or AC unit is a big decision. That's why we recommend getting 3 quotes. Just make sure we are one of them. We offer our PHP guarantee, which means if I can't beat a competitor's price by 10%, then I will give you $100. Dad always said, do quality work and serve every customer better than your competition. So let our family serve you. Visit saving10%.com and remember, it's hard to stop a train.
Think back. Think back to when back or neck pain didn't rule your life. Now, think about standing up to back pain today. Because you can. With highly skilled care from IU Health, Indiana's only nationally ranked healthcare system. Our spine experts use an integrated approach to care and the latest surgical and non-surgical methods, so you can move away from back pain and on with life. Schedule a safe in-office appointment or visit us virtually at iuhealth.org/spine program.
On the level, on the go.
Still investigating the motive. Clouds starting to move away, 83 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. The Greenwood Park Mall shooter never said why he was aiming his rifle into the food court Sunday evening. Chris Davis reports on the clues he may have left behind.
A cell phone left in the toilet and a laptop left in an oven at the apartment. The oven was turned on. But even though he may have tried to bake his motive into oblivion, Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen promises a thorough forensic exam of that hard drive.
But we did retrieve the laptop, and that is going to go to Quantico to be analyzed. It has it's been damaged due to the heat in the oven.
Jonathan Sapirman of Greenwood had no job, no car, and walked to the mall to carry out the shooting. Eisen says Sapirman's family had no idea this was going to happen.
They were just as surprised as everyone else was. They said there were no indicators that he was violent or unstable.
Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The people killed in the shooting were Victor Gomez and husband and wife, Pedro and Rosa Pineda of Indy. Elijah Dickin of Seymour is the man who shot and killed the shooter. One person killed and several others hurt in another shooting in Beech Grove Sunday night.
There was an argument. It appears that it may have been between 2 females, and then it was separated.
and then somehow that erupted into this massive barrage of weapons being fired down there.
Beech Grove Deputy Police Chief Tom Hurley, they're looking for a Toyota Camry that had maybe 2 or 3 black men inside it. White House Economic Advisor Jared Bernstein at a White House press briefing Monday afternoon talking about concerns of a recession.
Based on consumer spending, based on payroll employment, based on where the unemployment rate is, I think we can confidently say that these numbers that we're posting are very much inconsistent with a recessionary call.
Critics justify their concerns with the amount of federal spending the government's doing and the inflation rate that's at a 40-year high. Now the stock report, the Dow down 215 points today, closing at 31,072. The NASDAQ dropping 92, closing at 11,360 points. And the S&P 500 falling 32 points, finishing at 3,830. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and autopay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
With traffic, here's Alan Green.
Thank you, Harrison. 65 southbound is shut down now between the Clinton-Boone County line and the Lebanon Rest area because of a vehicle fire. 465 eastbound is heavy from Keystone to 69. Westbound slows up from Ditch to Michigan. Southbound traffic slow from 70 to 74. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds decrease, some patchy fog, low of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and a little bit humid. High temperature reaches 90 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morris for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Hey, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. A violent weekend in Indy, mass shootings in Greenwood, also mass shootings in your hometown of Beech Grove. And that brings us to a very special guest on the DriveHubler.com hotline.
The chief of police in Beech Grove is Michael Maurice. He joins us right now. Chief, what can you tell us about what took place last night around 9:30 at a park on 9th Street?
Yeah, hey guys. We had a mass shooting, and it appears as though there's a gathering for a vigil for a friend of our victims that had passed away. And as it was wrapping up, looked like they were about to leave. And there happened to be a shooting, and 4 people were shot, and unfortunately one has died from that shooting.
So these folks were gathered for like a candlelight vigil of somebody that had passed away recently, and next thing we know, we hear gunfire. Do we know where the gunfire came from? Was it a drive-by? Was it people there?
Well, it appears as though there was a vehicle in the area. It's a white Toyota Camry, what we think. And it was in the area, and then it was in the parking lot. It does not appear as though that they attended the vigil. However, we do believe that this is where the shots had come from. It was occupied by 3 black males, and there could be damage to the vehicle as well, possibly broken windows or other damage.
Do we know if the assailants knew the people at the vigil? Is there a connection there?
We have not been able to determine that yet.
Chatting with Beech Grove Chief of Police Michael Maurice in regards to the shooting that took place last night in Beech Grove. Of course, there was the Greenwood shooting that took place first, and then around 9:30 p.m., 4 people, I believe, shot at Don Chalice Park, which is right next to the elementary school there on 9th Street. Have witnesses been cooperating with the police? Because we know that's a big problem here in Indianapolis.
I would say somewhat, but not fully cooperating. We're not getting the whole story. And so, of course, we would ask if there are any witnesses that haven't been talked to or left the scene prior to us being able to reach out to them, that they contact us. They can either call Captain Matt Hickey at 317-782-4936. They don't feel comfortable talking, they can always email at policeinfo@beechgrove.com. And then, of course, there's Crime Stoppers that they could reach out to, 317-262-TIPS.
And Chief, I know you said that you couldn't put a connection between the shooters and the people at the vigil, but so I'm also assuming that means you don't have a clear motive yet?
Right. Not at this time. Again, some of the witnesses that were on scene aren't divulging that information yet.
Was there any sort of fight that broke out? Because you see a lot of things on social media, and you know as well as we do, sometimes the information you see on social media right after a major event isn't correct. I'm hearing that there was some sort of fight or argument. Is there any truth to that?
There may have been an argument, but it was not with the white Camry that we are looking for.
Did 2 women by chance have a disagreement and then males came in? Is that something that took place?
At this time, it appears as though that there was a disagreement. But again, that was the suspect vehicle does not appear to have attended the vigil. So that's what we're trying to piece together is the timeline and the events that occurred right before the actual crime.
You don't even have to comment on this specific situation necessarily, but you did say that it's been tough getting witnesses to cooperate. A bigger picture, why does that typically happen, do you think?
I think it's learned behavior. I think it's frowned upon to help law enforcement or to tell on your friends or to tell what you know because you're looked down upon. Street code, I guess. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense when your loved ones are the ones that are become victims or pass away. You would think that you would want to do everything you can to seek justice for them, but I honestly, guys, I don't understand that street code.
Michael Maurice is our guest. He is the chief of police in Beech Grove. And Michael, for those who don't really know the area all that well, Beech Grove is in Marion County on the south side, but has its own mayor, has its own police department. Does your police department, do your officers go through the same training for mass shootings as IMPD does?
Yes, we do. And we actually, we've redone our training to where we just went through some active shooter. We have very good instructors. And so we had just gone through some a couple months ago. We respond and we work through scenarios. And so all our officers have just gone through that a couple months ago. But it was a hectic scene. I mean, you can plan for scenarios, but when you have as many people that were on the scene, and we got a lot of help from the outside agencies. And so we responded well. I'm sure that there's things that now we'll look at to retrain, but yes, we do train on these situations.
And in regards to the response, I believe I heard Mayor Buckley mention that there were some EMS issues because so many of the medics that were supposedly working with Beech Grove were on site for the Greenwood shooting. Is that correct?
From what I was told, yes. We have our own, Beech Grove has its own EMS service, and they were tied up with the Greenwood response, which, you take a lot of ambulances away when you have a mass casualty incident like you had in Greenwood. And so that left the rest of the city running short. And so, yes, we believe that there was a delay in response, not to anyone's fault at IMS or Eskenazi or any of the hospitals, but it just had to do with the response to Greenwood.
Chief, what did you tell the residents of Beech Grove last night? What's your message to people that are worried that these guys might still be out there?
Be vigilant. We don't think this was a random act. I'll say that. I don't think it was a random act. I do believe that this was not a random act, and so I think the mayor may have said that they weren't Beech Grove residents. They just found our park, and you guys know, our park system is pretty nice, and they found an open shelter, and they had their vigil. It was not sanctioned by the Parks Department, and so most of these are passer-throughs Beech Grove. They didn't live in Beech Grove, and so we are a generally pretty safe city, and so most of our stuff and our people come from outside. And so be vigilant. If you see something, call us. We will respond and we will handle it. But we can't live in fear. We're there. We're doing what we can, and we will. I know that this was going to bring up more meetings with the outside agencies to figure out, to help find solutions to this problem that everyone is having.
Chief, one more thing here before we let you go. You mentioned it just a few moments ago that a lot of the problems that you see in Beech Grove are coming from Indianapolis or elsewhere. What can Beech Grove police or residents do when you see this revolving door of the justice system take place here in Indianapolis, but it starts to affect the surrounding communities? Is there anything people can do, or what message would you say to the residents of Beech Grove or other communities that are similar to that have a problem with what's happening in Indy and they're scared that that's going to come to their community?
Well, I think... And I don't want to get too political here, but I would say that elections have consequences, and you need to really start getting involved in who people are putting in office. And then we also need to take responsibility for ourselves, and we need to teach our kids responsibility and civility and to respect human life, and that our choices have consequences, and how to deal with conflict in general. Like violence isn't it. Like, there's a way that you can walk away. It's okay if you get your feelings hurt. You can move on. But I think it's a big problem that really you have to start at the family level and deal with that stuff in house. And I know that it's easier to be your kid's friend than it is to parent. But we've got to start doing a better job in the homes to teach these kids the dignity of life and the sanctity of life and civility with one another.
Beech Grove Chief of Police Michael Maurice. Michael, tell your officers, fantastic job. Again, that place is very special to my heart. Godspeed, and please keep us up to date with the investigation.
I will, and thank you. I do appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
We wash our dishes daily, we take out the trash weekly, and we do little things routinely to keep our homes looking their best. So when was the last time you had your carpets cleaned professionally? If you're waiting for the dirt and stains to appear, you may be limiting the lifespan of your home's carpet. Getting your carpets cleaned regularly at Zero Res Carpet Cleaning can extend the life of your carpet and make your home feel new again. So give Zero Res a call today at 317-388-5141 or book online at ZeroResIndy.com to experience a smarter, lasting clean.
Yeah, the Low T Center, they exclusively specialize in men's wellness. And what happens at the Low T Center is they check all of your levels. And I'm not just talking about testosterone. They determine the cause of any symptoms that you were having, whether you're a candidate for low T or maybe even something else like low thyroid or sleep apnea. I mean, they check your prostate levels, your cholesterol. The Low T Center exclusively specializes in men's wellness.
At the Low T Center, typically their annual health assessment is completely covered by health insurance, and it's thorough, checking everything from your prostate levels, thyroid, liver and kidney functions, cholesterol, glucose levels, and more. Set up a time to meet and chat with the Low T Center today. Couple different locations. Go to lowtcenter.com. Book that appointment right now. lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
What is the kingdom of God? Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis.
In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus offers a rather curious listing of those who enter the kingdom of God. The poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, the pure in heart, the peacemakers, and the persecuted, among others. It's an unexpected list that includes those the world often classifies as rejects and outcasts. It is this countercultural Jesus that we seek to follow at TAB, whose message runs counter to our culture of self-centeredness and self-absorption. How do we follow this Jesus at TAB? Come find out for yourself by joining us in worship or visiting us online at tabpres.org.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
No voting machines connected to the internet. Voter identification required.
You hear a lot about voter security lately. The state of Indiana has more than 20 security procedures in place. These are just a few to ensure that all votes are secure and accurately counted.
Machines not interconnected. Homeland Security.
Okay, that's a lot. So you can rest assured that in Indiana, your vote is private, protected, and accurately recorded. You can count on it. Sponsored by the Indiana Secretary of State, this station, and the Indiana Broadcasters Association.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
August 11th, returning to Carmel for one night only at the Palladium, the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Tickets on sale now at the Center's box office or online at thecenterpresents.org.
Alan Green is in for Matt Baer.
Thank you. Hey, on 65 southbound now at Meridian, we have a crash reported. Traffic is backed up from 21st. 65 southbound still shut down apparently between the Clinton-Boone County line and the Lebanon Rest area. That's because of a vehicle fire. And on 465 westbound, traffic slows up between Michigan and the Dogleg. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Ah, Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We got some concert tickets to give away here in just a few minutes. But right now, we got cloudy skies, 84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Let's do some booze news.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze news, booze news.
Yeah.
Time for booze news. A student pilot is accused of flying a plane drunk after running out of fuel and then landing on a highway in Missouri. There's a truck driver talking about what she saw during the crash landing and her interaction with the pilot. The pilot's name is John Ceasing.
He just kept getting lower, kept going, getting lower, and I'm going, WTF. And then next minute I go, holy crap, and he hit the interstate. He gave me a hug and thanked me for blocking traffic and saying that he was glad that he didn't hit nobody. And he is one lucky person. If he hadn't have landed that plane the way he landed it, he could have went over the barrier, and it was like a 20-foot drop into a river.
Yeah, Missouri police are saying he's allegedly intoxicated. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that scene in Wolf of Wall Street where Leo DiCaprio's flying the helicopter hammered, bouncing up and down off his backyard, and finally gets it. Oh, boy. So,
how bad do you feel if you're somebody that's crashed a car while drunk? Here's a kid that safely landed an airplane.
Yeah, but he was drunk and he ran out of fuel. Call me when Sully does the Hudson River landing wasted. Okay,
Right.
No, that's a true hero.
Give Sully a couple shots of tequila and let's see what happens there.
Let me get to. Can I get to the winner of the 150th Open yesterday?
Oh yeah,
I would love to watch the British Open golf tournaments. This guy Cam Smith out of Australia. He's got a mullet and a porn stash. Just a kid, man. Just looks like Joe Dirt. He won the British Open yesterday, and he was asked. The trophy looks like this big. It's kind of like a smaller version of a much smaller version of the Stanley Cup. But you could put liquid in it, right? So here's Cam Smith after he won the 150th Open yesterday.
Perhaps you can tell us how you're going to celebrate tonight with the Clara jug.
I'm definitely going to find out how many beers fit in this thing, that's for sure.
Isn't that what they do with the Stanley Cup, though? When the hockey, the NHL, they win the Stanley Cup and they take it around and put a bunch of beer in it. And
each player gets it for
it.
like a 24-hour period. Each player gets to take it home.
Sleep with it.
And they have pool parties with it. They're chucking it out the window. They're putting booze in there. And
well, remember when Tom Brady chucked the Super Bowl trophy across in the Tampa Bay, like from boat to boat?
The Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, the Lombardi Trophy. He tossed it to a guy on a separate boat, and he fortunately caught it, didn't go down into the bottom of the bay there.
Can you imagine if he would have dropped it?
It's so funny. Oh, man, that would have been so funny. But, yeah, that was a great – I won $40 on Cam Smith. I made some errant bets at the beginning, maybe some not fully sober bets on Tiger Woods and John Daly and some other Phil Mickelson.
Good Lord, dude.
I know. I mean, that was they were very bad bets, but I made up for it with the Cam Smith bet.
Man, I couldn't bet at all in Florida. Come on, DeSantis. Get that figured out, man.
Impeach DeSantis.
Fix sports betting in Florida, Ronnie.
He's leading the polls in Florida over Trump in a GOP primary, but if I were Trump, that would be my platform against DeSantis. What a loser, hasn't even legalized sports gaming yet. My buddy went to Michigan. My neighbor went to Michigan. He said not only is sports betting legal, but they got casino mode.
Mode
on their phones.
So you can play like blackjack and slots for real money?
Yes. He won about $100 in 5 minutes on blackjack. I'd be in trouble in that one.
They introduced that to Indiana, but it got shot down, unfortunately. How about this? Caller number 9 right now, 239-9393. We got a couple tickets to see the Zach Brown Band, July 28th, Ruoff Music Center. Caller number 9, Zach Brown Band, 239-9393. Good luck.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 38,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Are you a mechanic or work on tractors on the farm? Come join the team at Reynolds, your hometown John Deere dealer. They're now hiring service technicians from any industry or mechanical background at all 5 of their central Indiana locations. Whether just out of high school and looking to learn the trade or a seasoned mechanic, there's a career path for you there. Get paid on-the-job training, competitive pay, and excellent benefits at a voted top Indiana workplace 5 years in a row. Learn more at reynoldsfarmequipment.com/careers. That's reynoldsfarmequipment.com/careers.
Think back. Think back to when back or neck pain didn't rule your life. Now, think about standing up to back pain today. Because you can. With highly skilled care from IU Health, Indiana's only nationally ranked healthcare system. Our spine experts use an integrated approach to care and the latest surgical and non-surgical methods, so you can move away from back pain and on with life. Schedule a safe in-office appointment or visit us virtually at iuhealth.org/spine program.
Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Aristotle said that. The Singer Financial Team embodies it so your family can live it. This is Brian Singer. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people.
This is Erica Baker, advisor and team member with Singer Financial. Our clients expect excellence from their financial advisory team. At Singer Financial, our mission is to be the last financial team your family will ever need or want. We understand that requires a deep level of engagement and trust. At Singer Financial, we take the time to get to know you, to understand what you need, and also what you want from your investments. We can help provide answers to the questions you may not even know to ask. That means we don't really have clients. We have relationships with people, relationships with couples, relationships with families who deserve excellence. Feeling valued and trusted by your family is the most rewarding aspect of what we do. That's why our team is committed to excellence. Excellence is what you should expect when you choose to partner with Singer Financial.
The Singer Financial Team has developed and refined a proprietary process designed to help people who are still working create a work-optional lifestyle. We call it the RIM. The Retirement Income Money Map looks at 5 key areas of your financial life and then informs your choices to design a lifestyle as unique as you are. The RIM process puts all the pieces of the puzzle together to increase your chances to live the lifestyle you've imagined for your retirement.
Our team can help make your money live as long as you do. Go to singerfinancialgroup.com to explore the RIM process or call 317-852-9153 to schedule a virtual or in-office discovery visit.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
There's never been a better time to look at a cash-out refinance. Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com. NMLS number 1326241.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the man being labeled a hero in Greenwood, where the victims are being honored, and a man who's facing a murder charge for a woman missing in Kokomo. All that and more after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A good guy with a gun. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Law enforcement officials are praising the actions of a 22-year-old man who shot and killed a gunman who was firing inside an Indiana mall with a Glock he was legally allowed to carry.
Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers said it was Elisha Dicken at the mall with his girlfriend who reacted
within seconds, stopping the shooter and saving countless lives.
Greenwood Police Chief James Eisen said of Dicken, to his knowledge,
he has no police training and no military background.
But said Dicken was proficient in his approach and guided people out of danger.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The white gunman charged with killing 10 black people in a Buffalo, New York supermarket in May pleaded not guilty today to federal hate crime charges that are punishable by the death penalty. The 27-count indictment returned last week accused Peyton Gendron of engaging in substantial planning to commit an act of terrorism. An investigation cites numerous failures by local, state, and federal first responders to the deadly school shooting in Uvalde, Texas.
The nearly 80-page report by the Texas House of Representatives says hundreds of officers went to Robb Elementary School on May 24th, but did not go into the classroom and take down the shooter for 72 minutes. Texas State Representative Dustin Burrows led the investigation.
If we need a simple phrase to describe what the report says, again, I would tell you
multiple systemic failures.
The report says it's, quote, almost certain that the shooter fired at least 100 shots before any officer entered the classroom.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Britain's first ever extreme heat warning is in effect for large parts of England. The high heat is disrupting travel, healthcare, and schools. 2 airports were forced to close when their runways buckled from the record heat. Most UK homes, schools, and small businesses don't have air conditioning. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Who they're calling a hero. 83 and cloudy, lows in the 60s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. The man who shot and killed the Greenwood Park Mall shooter was Elijah Dickin of Seymour.
The shooter fired several rounds, striking the suspect. The suspect attempted to retreat back into the restroom and fell to the ground after being shot.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen describing what happened just 2 minutes after Jonathan Spearman, a 20-year-old from Greenwood, began shooting people as he came out of the restroom near the mall food court just before 6 o'clock Sunday evening.
We're very thankful for a young 22-year-old man who stopped this violent act.
Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers. Eisen says Spearman was armed with several guns, including 2 large-caliber rifles and a .357, along with 100 rounds of ammo. Eisen described the shooter as having resigned from his job and possibly having been served eviction papers. Still, no motive was discussed.
He has a juvenile record and no criminal history as an adult. His past incidents with the Greenwood Police Department include minor offenses as a juvenile, such as a fight at school and being a juvenile runaway.
He tried to destroy a laptop, which was left in an oven at an apartment, and a cell phone that was thrown in a toilet. The FBI is now looking at those to find a possible motive. A vigil is being held tonight at 7 o'clock at Resurrection Lutheran Church to honor the victims in the shooting. 30-year-old Victor Gomez, 37-year-old Rosa Pineda, and her 56-year-old husband Pedro were the victims of the shooting. The church is next to Perry Park between South Meridian Street on US 31 on the south side. A 57-year-old from Kokomo was arrested Monday on a murder charge in connection to the disappearance of an 18-year-old woman who's been missing for nearly 6 years. Police say Flint Farmer's the one who's been arrested, and more could follow. Karina McClurkin was the woman who had gone missing. She was last seen October 11th, 2016. Rain over the weekend may have been helpful.
I would say certainly for the areas that did over an inch of rain, hopefully they're no worse than they were a week before.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service. He says more dry weather likely ahead. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Furniture Installers of Indiana can handle your office furniture needs, no matter how large or how small. They've been doing it for over 30 years. Bring professional furniture solutions to your home or commercial office space. Learn more at FurnitureInstallers.us.
Traffic at 5:05. Here's Alan Green.
Thank you, Harrison. 65 southbound remains shut down between the Clinton-Boone County line and the Lebanon Rest area because of a vehicle fire. 465 eastbound, that's heavy from Allisonville to 69. 65 southbound is slow between King and Meridian. That's from an earlier accident. This report brought to you by Dell Technologies. The only way to wrangle the yearning for learning is creating what's next imagined on your XPS. Get into your universe at Dell.com. Intel.com/XPS, verified for exceptional experiences with Intel Evo platform. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds decrease, some patchy fog, low of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and a little bit humid. High temperature reaches 90 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morris for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Latest weekend violence from here in Indianapolis. 10 people shot, 3 stabbed, 1 killed. Now, that's not including the Greenwood incident, which is adjacent to Indy. And Beech Grove is technically Marion County, right?
It is, but the homicides in Beech Grove count for Beech Grove. So it's in Marion County, but that doesn't count as an Indianapolis homicide.
So the quadruple shooting with 1 killed in that Beech Grove park, that's a Beech Grove homicide.
Correct.
Well, our thoughts and prayers with the victim there. They were at a candlelight vigil to commemorate the memory of somebody that had passed away a few days ago. And then, according to police, a white Toyota Camry pulls up and starts firing into the crowd, looking for 2 to 3 African-American males that still have not been arrested yet. And doesn't look like a lot of the people at that vigil were cooperating with police in terms of witness testimony.
The mayor of Beech Grove is a Democrat, Dennis Buckley. This is the mayor speaking on the current state of crime, not just in Beech Grove, but around Central Indy.
There's a long list. Number one, it starts at the home. It starts with a parent accountability. When I was growing up, I never acted like this because I knew what the consequence would be. You don't have that anymore with most kids. Some kids are really good, but where are the parents when it comes to things like this? Our criminal justice system is a revolving door. You commit crimes, you get placed under arrest by the police, within an hour you're out, committing the same crimes again. Local prosecutors have to step up and prosecute these people for gun crimes. And maybe the law needs to be changed to where the parents are the ones who are responsible.
Now, that's a Democrat mayor from Beech Grove basically calling out Ryan Mears in Marion County, saying we need prosecutors to step it up here. We heard that earlier from the chief of police when he joined us on the program from Beech Grove, that elections have consequences. And when you decide to go super woke, now these aren't his words, these are mine. When you decide to go super woke, this is what you get: a revolving door of justice and local communities that are not necessarily Indianapolis. Beech Grove, Brownsburg. There's been a homicide in Zionsville, Nige. These are the communities that are now seeing the effect of how dangerous Indianapolis is and the actions or lack thereof of the prosecutor.
And there was an issue with emergency medical at the Beech Grove incident because so many of those resources were being utilized at the Greenwood mass shooting where 3 people died.
Correct. Here's more from the mayor.
I also want to compliment our MESA, Metropolitan Emergency Services Agency, who oversees our dispatch. They were working 2 major incidents at the same time. The incident in Beech Grove and obviously the incident in Greenwood. Our Beech Grove EMS, which I think is the best, believe it or not, was not available for this incident because our ambulances were down helping people at the Greenwood Mall. So we don't pick and choose. We help, and when a run comes in, we go.
Wow.
So rough nights on the south side. You had the Beech Grove shooting at around 9:30, but of course a story making national headlines is what took place inside the Greenwood Park Mall about 3 hours before that.
How about the hero that stopped the shooter after killing 3 people, a lawfully armed 22-year-old man named Elijah Dicken, engaged the shooter. Police, I believe, used the word, they were like technically sound in the way he was engaged with the shooter. He doesn't have any military training or police training, but he did obviously have some sort of training and was actually telling people, get behind me, come on, leading people out of harm's way as he was engaging with the shooter. I'm trying to look at this from the perspective of the hero here. One of the things that, I'd be shaken up. Obviously, you see people bleeding out. You see people that are dead. You killed somebody. Even though you're a hero, you took a human life. And I'm just projecting here. I'm wondering if there's maybe an element of him that might feel bad that he wasn't able to act sooner and save more lives. But, he didn't have to do what he did. He could have got up and ran away just like everybody else, which if you're unarmed, run. Get the hell out of there. So 3 people died, including a husband and a wife at the Greenwood Park Mall.
Yeah, the victims, and I think it's important to share their names as well. Husband and wife, Pedro Pineda and Rosa Pineda, along with 30-year-old Victor Gomez. Those were the folks that lost their life inside of the Greenwood Park Mall. But as you alluded to, Nige, that number could have been much larger had it not been for the quick actions of a 22-year-old from Seymour, Indiana, Elijah Dicken. And it's kind of disgusting that so many people on social media, it's almost as if they're upset that somebody that had the right to carry eliminated the threat here, because that takes away a lot of the argument they have that firearms are bad. You're seeing this all over social media.
The headline from Fox 59, Good Samaritan with a gun stopped Greenwood Park Mall shooting. The mall had policy against weapons. A lot of good that policy did. Thank God the hero ignored that policy, and obviously gun-free zones didn't work. They don't work and make people more vulnerable.
And policies are not laws. Remember that.
Yeah.
We spoke to Guy Relford earlier when he came on with us.
Which, by the way, has retained the hero has retained the services of Guy Relford in his law firm.
Correct. Guy Relford representing the hero in this Greenwood shooting. This is a headline from the Indy Star. It's against Simon Property Group's policy to bring a weapon into the mall. But did an armed bystander who stopped the shooting break the law? This is the avenue of conversation you want to take this story down?
That's clickbait, obviously. They know. I'm not sure how much homework they did. But it's not against the law. It's mentioned even in that Fox 59 story where they repeat over and over again that the mall had a policy. Simon Malls had a policy. It's a gun-free zone. This guy was carrying a gun in a gun-free zone. They never do they mention the shooter ignoring the gun-free zone. But then they also say at the same time, by the way, it is legal to carry a weapon in a gun-free zone.
Has anybody asked the family of the gunman, hey, why did your son bring in a weapon? It was a gun-free zone. Unbelievable. And you're seeing local media members, national comedians, Moms Demand Action, basically throwing a hissy fit that this hero, and I think it's fair to call him that, was also called a good Samaritan. We're getting into a semantics conversation here.
This is not the technical meaning of Good Samaritan, my God. Like the traffic reporter from CBS 4 went on some tangent on Twitter about, well, this is not the technical. It's the spirit of what we're talking about. It might not be the technical definition, but the guy didn't have to do what he did, and he's being labeled a Good Samaritan. Well, that's not in the Bible. He's not from Samaria.
That's where you want to take the conversation.
The traffic reporter from CBS, this is what he's worried about. This is what he tweeted out. The term Good Samaritan came from a Bible passage of a man from Samaria who stopped on the side of the road to help a man who was injured and ignored. I can't believe we live in a world where the term can equally apply to someone killing someone. My God. What a dweeb. That's what you're worried about? That's what you took from this whole conversation?
Right.
The CBS traffic anchor weighing in. Does anybody care what the traffic anchor has to say?
So if you missed our chat with Guy Relford, we've got that posted on Facebook, Twitter, and WIBC.com. Definitely go back and hear that conversation. Little update on the border. I know we've been very busy covering the shootings today, but I do want to give you an update of what's happening at the southern border. As of this morning, the United States has passed all of last year's total for illegal migrant encounters.
You're kidding.
So all of last year, the number was 1.734 in terms of million, 1,734,000. As of this morning, 1.746.
Oh, wow.
We're only at the middle of July here, and we're already above last year's total of illegal migrant encounters at the border. This is Ted Cruz.
You know why Joe Biden doesn't come to the Rio Grande Valley? Because he knows if he comes, the TV cameras will follow. And their hope is to hide the human suffering. Just a few weeks ago, over 50 bodies were found dead in a tractor trailer outside of San Antonio. Children as young as 13 died of heat stroke. The Joe Biden body bags keep piling up, and we could stop this if we went back to the policies just a couple of years ago that were working, that had produced the lowest illegal immigration in 45 years. We know how to stop this.
Pretty passionate speech from Ted Cruz in regards to the border numbers coming out today. Matt Baer is out today. Alan Green is in.
Thank you. 65 southbound is still jammed up from the Clinton County line, the Clinton-Boone County line to Lebanon Rest area, but an earlier vehicle fire has cleared, so that should be starting to get better. 465 eastbound heavy Keystone to 69. 65 southbound traffic delays a bit between King and Meridian. That's from an earlier accident. This report brought to you by Armor Air. Armor Air is more than a heating and cooling company. They cover it all. Their service fee is only $29. ArmorAir.com. Day or night, they do what's right. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got some cloudy skies. It's 84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration.
30 million people have been diagnosed with neuropathy in the United States. And quite frankly, I think it's actually underdiagnosed. We do a lot of circulatory and nerve testing in our office, and there are a tremendous number of people who do show up that they have the beginnings or are actually into neuropathy. We're trying to catch it as early as possible and then start a program for them to start to reverse that. Especially if you catch it early, it can be stopped and reversed so that people don't have the symptomatology and all the problems that come along with neuropathy. 40% of everyone who actually has chemo also develops neuropathy. 70% of all diabetics have neuropathy. If you are diabetic, that's something that you need to be working on and something that you need to be aware of.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Hammer and Nigel here for your Central Indiana American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer. Absolute comfort. They specialize in Mitsubishi Electric ductless mini splits. They are diverse systems that can be mounted on your wall or flush with the ceiling, and they heat and cool at a very efficient level. These systems, which can be used to heat or cool specific rooms without ductwork, which ends up being a very clean way to heat and cool your home, business, or even your garage.
These high-tech units are how most of the world heats and cools their homes and offices. These Mitsubishi electric ductless systems have advancements that can sense when a person is in a room and can warm or cool that room to the person's wishes. For the ultimate in efficiency and comfort, contact Chris Wedekin at Absolute Comfort to find out more. AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer. Tom Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Tony Katz for Premier Arms in Brownsburg, Central Indiana's premium arms dealer. These guys have over 1,200 firearms in stock. The largest selection of used firearms in the area, from pre-Civil War to modern firearms, and they are customer focused. They want to help you and ensure that you're having a great time, getting great service, and you'll come back again and again. That's why they always have the best prices. 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg, 317-858-3030, or online at premierarms.com.
Old National Bank is asking businesses to get old. But first, they have questions.
Who runs my business if I get old?
You do. You can get old and remain young.
Is that possible?
With a commercial bank as good as Old National, yes.
What will it feel like to get old?
Well, business owners describe a feeling of euphoria, having local decision-making and committed relationship bankers.
Okay, one old guy coming up.
Introducing Old National Bank, where business relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong.
I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic.
Probiotics? They don't really work. It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at alignprobiotics.com.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers, corporate electronic recycling. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
I think it's awesome.
The Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
You rock.
Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Did you read the hit piece from Greg Doyle, sports writer for the Indy Star, about Dan Dockich from 107.5 The Fan? Guy that we've known has been a big supporter of this show for a long time. It's just, I will ask the coach about it later this week. He didn't even get a chance to respond because he's doing his charity golf outing today. But Doyle just sounds like such a jilted ex-lover when you read this thing. Well, me and Dockich used to be buddies. Well, we could fight at each other, but now he's just a big bully. Well, I never wanted to write this article. Well, I was a mess, and we talked, and we could fight at each other, and I cheated on my wife 20 years ago. Well,
which, by the way, is in the article.
Yeah, he wrote about all that stuff in the article, and I don't want to give it too much attention. I mean, it's the biggest, he's the biggest beta male I've ever seen in my life. Well, just an entire article about how we were best friends, but now he's a bully, and he says mean tweets, and he says mean things on Twitter. And the crappiest part of the article is when Doyle took a shot at Dockich's bike charity for kids, Bike for Kids, saying he's using kids as human shields. What a despicable, gross, disgusting thing to say.
And to put this hit piece out today where he's raising money for another organization, he's doing his charity golf outing today, so Doyle drops this piece today.
And I was following Doyle yesterday just because of Dockich. Dockich had tweeted out some nice things about, let's cut out all the petty BS, because Doyle's kid was supposed to work at the Greenwood Park Mall, right? And so he went there to do some reporting. I was following him yesterday. He's doing a good job reporting and updating. But then this comes out, And I'm like,
just sounds like a whiny chick, man.
I haven't. I used to look. Doyle used to be a guy I looked to, like when something big in sports happened. That's who I would look to get opinion and perspective. Not since he put out that piece in 2020, that fear porn piece, shaming Penske into not having any fans at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for fear the funerals could have mobile morgues and more body bags.
Oh, that's right.
You could run out of body bags and mobile morgues at funerals if you had fans at the Indy 500. I stopped reading him after that. That total hyperbolic piece of fear porn bullcrap. And we'll talk to the coach later this week. He comes on the show every Friday about 5:30.
Right. And he doesn't need us to defend him by any means.
But I wonder how many other people are going to defend him.
Right.
In this building.
Right.
I wonder, and there's a ton of, Doyle tweeted something out about, I'm getting texts from MS employees about my article. You have no idea. I'm going to back away from this, but I've been getting texts from well-known names about my article.
Okay.
Oh, that's crappy too.
All because, you guys had a falling out. Like, imagine writing an article where your whole gimmick is you admit you cheated on your wife to get over on Dan Dakich. Because that's what it was.
It was such a bizarre, weird thing. And it doesn't affect Dan in the least. It doesn't. Trust me, I've known him for long enough. He thinks it's hilarious.
Right.
He thinks the whole thing's funny.
And this is what's known as the slowest sports week of the year. Baseball is at the All-Star break. It's Home Run Derby and All-Star game, and that's pretty much it. There's really nothing else going on. So what does the Indy Star do to drum up some clicks? Just have another Dakich hit piece.
It's one about every 2 weeks, I feel like.
Like, does Doyle and that Dana chick high five in the hallway? It's your turn this week. Write a good one.
I'm tagging out, you tag in. A Dan Dakich tag team of negative articles. Oh, that's so funny.
Dateline, Wisconsin. A Wisconsin man now holds the Guinness World Record for suctioning cans on his head. He got 10 of those bad boys to stick on his head. Here he is.
I actually have a skin condition that's not named yet, that my skin pores literally suck in oxygen.
Like, Nigel's face is so red from laughing right now.
Because that dumb Greg Doyle article, this guy that set the Guinness World Records for suctioning cans on his head. He's got a skin condition that sucks in oxygen. It's the dumbest thing I've ever... literally the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. And again, is this the kind of thing where this guy brags about it at his local tavern to try to get chicks? Hey, did you see me in the Guinness World Records? Put a bunch of cans on my head.
And at what point does he find out he can do this? Like, after he puts 1 or 2 on there, wait a minute, I think we're on to something here. 4, 5, now there's 10 of these damn things around.
It's like Pee Wee Herman and Pee Wee's Big Adventure when he's putting the tape on his nose. At one point, at the beginning, it's just one little piece of tape to get his nose up like a pig, and the next thing you know, he's got a ton of tape wrapped around his entire head.
You're absolutely right. Coming up next, we've got a Fauci update.
Oh, wonderful.
A Fauci update's on the other side of the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
His actions saved many. 83 and partly sunny downtown. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. Had Elijah Dicken not been shopping at Greenwood Park Mall Sunday evening, the shooter may have killed many more people. Chris Davis reports on what police know.
Dicken is being praised. He had no police training, but his aim was true.
The shooter fired several rounds, striking the suspect. The suspect attempted to retreat back into the restroom and fell to the ground after being shot.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen. Dicken was able to stop Jonathan Sapirman less than 2 minutes after he came out of the restroom and began shooting, killing Victor Gomez first, aiming into the food court then with his rifle, killing husband and wife Pedro and Rosa Pineda of Indianapolis. Then Dicken intervened.
This young man, Greenwood's good Samaritan, acted within seconds
stopping the shooter and saving countless lives.
Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers. Supierman had been laid off from a warehouse job in May have been served eviction papers and did not drive, walking to the mall to carry out the shooting. He had no adult criminal record. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Governor Eric Holcomb, in a statement released Monday, said he joins all Hoosiers in being grateful for the quick and heroic actions taken by Dickin. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is thanking the State House for its report into the Uvalde school shooting. Abbott said the report showed serious concerns about how police responded to Robb Elementary on May 24th. The report found law enforcement failed to prioritize student and teacher safety over their own lives. 21 people were killed in that mass shooting. White House economic advisor Jared Bernstein discussing lower gas prices at a press briefing today.
Gas prices vary from place to place, but according to an industry analyst, around 20,000 gas stations across over 30 states are now charging less than $4 per gallon.
Republican critics argue gas prices are still too high and are calling on President Joe Biden to reverse many of his energy policies. Greenfield police are investigating a social media threat made this morning toward Greenfield Central Elementary School. Police were made aware of the threat by the FBI, and 2 juveniles were involved. They were brought in for questioning. No specifics were given about the threats or what was said. With traffic, here's Alan Green.
And thank you, Harrison. We've got a crash on 69 southbound around 82nd. It's got the center lane block and traffic is jammed back from 96th. 465 eastbound is heavy from Keystone to 69. Westbound between 31. Westbound before 31, a crash blocking the right lane. This is on the south side and traffic jams back from Keystone. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds decrease, some patchy fog, low of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and a little bit humid. High temperature reaches 90 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morris for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Well, break out the Sarah McLachlan music for Dr. Fauci. I will remember you. His time as one of the head COVID advisors to the White House and at the NIH is coming to an end. He is retiring before the end of the Biden administration. Old flopping Fauci is gone.
Well, bye.
I mean, this is a guy that lied to the public about masks to manipulate their behavior. He purposely pushed the narrative that COVID came from a wet market in China when emails that were released under FOIA requests clearly indicate otherwise. And you were all along, the list is 10 miles long. We're never allowed to question Fauci. Because questioning Fauci, he said it, is saying that's actually questioning science.
He is the science.
He is the science, the settled science. So goodbye, farewell. Don't let the door hit you.
Now, he says he's going to retire at the end of Biden's first term. If the Republicans have any hair on their you-know-whats, backside, peaches, wherever you want to associate hair, they start bringing some dirt at this guy. I mean, you've basically got him lying on camera multiple times, right? Did he or did he not provide the money for the research that was going over?
Yeah, well, that was the big bombshell, to me, through the emails. The BuzzFeed got his hand on a bunch of Fauci emails last year, and they had everything from there, from his thoughts on how masks were useless to banning travel from China. The big bombshell to me, looking through all this stuff, I remember as the head of EcoHealth Alliance, Peter Daszak, thanked Fauci for dispelling the myths around the COVID origins and blamed Fox News. He ran the firm. Eco Alliance is a firm that took grant money from Fauci and the NIH and gave, indirectly to the Wuhan lab for those virus gain-of-function experiments, right? Gain-of-function means working to make the virus more lethal, more contagious. See what I'm getting at here? If Fauci, the head of the NIH, and that's the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, gave grant money to EcoHealth Alliance, and they turned around and gave a ton of money to the Wuhan lab, and those scientists screwed up the experiment and COVID got out. There's a big problem and a conflict of interest and probably a reason to downplay the Wuhan lab theory as opposed to the wet market theory.
Remember when he threw that first pitch for the opening game for the Washington Nationals after they'd won the World Series, and it looked like a mixture of 50 Cent and the mayor of Cincinnati? I mean, it just went completely to the left. That sums up his handling of the COVID pandemic.
And then he proceeded to go sit in the stands, the empty stands with nobody around, and pull his mask down.
Sure. Why the hell not? So don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, Dr. Fauci. In my mind, Rand Paul's already got his team trying to get everything they can to make this happen sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, the White House coronavirus response coordinator, Dr. Jha, he's still trying to play the card that masks are super effective.
Local jurisdictions, cities, counties, states should make decisions about mask mandates because communities are different and their patterns of transmission are different. That said, CDC has very clear guidance on this as well through their COVID community levels. And the CDC recommendation is that when you're in a high zone, that sort of orange zone, as LA County is, people wearing masks indoors is really important, and it really will make a difference.
It really does make a difference, even though all of the data and statistics show that places that had hardcore mask mandates had worse numbers than places that didn't.
Yeah, I mean the trajectory was just the same in terms of positive cases relative to mask mandates. Places that didn't have mask mandates still had a high number of COVID transmission. Places that did have hardcore mask mandates and lockdowns still had the same rate of COVID transmission.
If you want to wear a mask, if you feel like you are somebody that would feel more comfortable wearing a mask, wear a mask. That's fine. But you don't have to lie to people at this point, right? Don't tell me that masks worked, because they didn't. Nothing worked.
And there were studies to prove it. I mean, go look up at the Danish study, the masking study. Go look up, I mentioned it last week. What was it? The Cochrane Library study. It's like a highly regarded place that said that masks failed to demonstrate a statistically significant benefit for COVID-19. Marginally significant reductions in viral transmission for surgical masks, but the stupid cloth masks that you buy in bulk from China, boy, China got us good.
Didn't they?
Boy,
they unleashed this thing on the world, and they sold us the crap to treat it. That didn't work. Good Lord.
That's a scheme like I've never, I mean, that's genius. That's
you got to tip your hat to them,
right
don't
there.
you? I mean, good God almighty.
We're going to, you know what, we're going to slow roll letting everybody know about this thing, how it got out of the lab, and then we'll sell them a crap load of medical, because all our medicine comes from China. All the masks come from China.
Right.
It's and when I say all, I don't mean all, but we get a lot of our medical stuff in terms of pharmaceuticals and equipment from China. And yeah,
I'm shocked it didn't work.
Turn around and benefit from that is pretty shady.
So we move from the Rona to the monkeypox. In a new interview, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, he's the former commissioner of the FDA, he's saying that the United States has probably lost its chance to contain the outbreak of monkeypox. Nige, this concern you at all?
I'd never seen anything ever mentioned that this is somewhat of an like an STD situation within the gay community, and that just never kind of is on anybody's radar. And now people are lined up around the corner to get the monkeypox virus in New York City,
vaccine.
Which is hard to. I'm sorry, yeah, the vaccine, yeah. So I don't. really think there's anything to be worried about unless you're rubbing up and down with open sores, somebody else that has open sores on them.
Right.
Or engaged in some sort of activity where it's much more likely to get monkeypox than not in terms of an STD thing.
Story in the Daily Mail, health experts are quitting the NIH and CDC in droves because they're embarrassed by bad science. And what they mean by bad science is vaccinating children under 5 because the studies show it's not really doing anything.
And the studies also show that nobody's getting them for the kids under 5. Maybe something like 1 to 2% is what I last read.
And those 1 to 2%, boy, they love to tell you about it. They love to put it on social media and tell the hell out of it.
I had Alex Berenson on a couple of weeks ago. He said, there must be one article written for every baby of by a parent that has gotten the COVID vaccine. It's like CrossFit.
Let me tell you about CrossFit, because I do CrossFit. Okay, go ahead. I don't know you, but please go ahead.
Let me tell you, I just got my six-month-old vaccinated against COVID. I mean, they talk. Yeah, you're right. They talk about it.
Barry Weiss on Substack reports that the data from both Pfizer and Moderna's clinical trials for jabs in under 5-year-olds show limited effectiveness.
Yeah, nobody's lining up for this thing for their kids. Sorry.
This story from Minneapolis is really interesting. We're going to play you some pretty powerful audio here in just a second. So there's a mom in Minneapolis who's confronting the angry Black Lives Matter mob that has gotten together in front of her apartment. So about a week ago...
I hadn't heard about this. This was mainly a regional thing, but this kind of blew up.
Somebody fired shots into her apartment building. Bullets went through the window. She was making dinner, I believe, for her and her 2 young children. Now, she is not white. She is mixed. She has a black child. And the suspect that fired the shots through the window was killed by police. He was an African-American man. Well, the Minnesota Black Lives Matter groups started protesting outside the apartment because the gunman, who again was firing shots inside the apartment at a woman and children, was killed by white cops.
And this woman gets out of her car. Well, she couldn't get to where she was going because of the BLM protests.
Right. Take a listen to this. This is when the woman, who again was on the receiving end of gunshots coming into her home, walked outside to yell at all of the Black Lives Matter protesters that were there to support the deceased gunman.
You guys are celebrating his life.
It was a terror. I'm sure it was a terror.
This is not okay.
You're alive. Shut up.
You guys need to just let it go. Grief in silence. This is not okay. This is not a George Floyd situation. George Floyd was unarmed. He was unarmed.
You're alive. Sorry.
This is not okay. My kids have to deal with this and probably have a mental illness now because they almost lost their life. There's bullet holes in my kitchen because he sat in the hallway watching my move. I wish it never happened either. That I don't have a place to call home. I can't sleep that night.
She's obviously going through a moment.
This is not okay.
This is what they want to show on the TV. She's obviously going through a moment.
This is not okay. Just go home. My kid's in the car. My black kid is in the car. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front of my kids.
Yeah, and did you hear the scumbags, the complete subhumans back there? They say, "You're alive, though." When she was talking about, there's bullet holes in my wall. There's no bullet holes in you.
And the amount of woke, middle-aged white guys in that crowd. Have you seen it? Like, there was one dude that had like a big ponytail on. Looked like he was in his late 30s or 40s. Pasty white dude.
Jean shorts.
You're there to protest the death of a guy that tried to murder this woman and her black child? What are you doing? What is wrong with you? Unbelievable. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Nobody I'd rather use than Mark Deedle to sell my house. Randy in Indianapolis feels the same way. He had a rental property. It was ready to sell to cash out in the hot market. And selling fast was good, but more importantly, he was looking to sell for top dollar. And Mark Deedle delivered both. Dude, Randy got 20 offers and sold for $15,000 over his already asking price in a few weeks. Mark Deedle is the best guy to get you the best price in Indy.
Call the only agent that we recommend and trust here on the Hammer and Nigel show, Mark Deedle. Mark Deedle gives you the guarantee. He guarantees multiple offers in 3 days at full market value, or he will list it for free. Call Mark Deedle right now, 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232, or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The Great Resignation is a new and demanding challenge for employers. Beyond recruiting and retaining talented employees, you must understand their changing needs for personalized, non-traditional employee benefits. If you approach and deliver your benefit program as you did a decade ago, McGowan Brabender can help. We are reimagining the employee benefit journey to meet this challenge. It's time to thrive, not just survive. Contact McGowan Brabender to learn more.
Is your financial portfolio crash-proof? Dan Dockage here for Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Crown Haven's goal is to help as many people as possible create the retirement of their dreams with zero downside risk, all while producing income as long as you live. Right now, Crown Haven is offering to run a free stress test on your investment portfolio and prepare a retirement income analysis for free. So now, this best-kept secret for retirement planning in Indiana is no longer a secret. Crown Haven will produce straightforward solutions, custom tailored to your retirement. Reduce risk, minimize taxes, maximize returns. Look them up right now at crownhaven.com. Get Crown Haven's free third-party analysis for your current investment portfolio to see where it could be done better. Crown Haven is working for me. They can work for you. Go to crownhaven.com or give them a call right now at 765-522-7233, 765-522-7233. Tell them Dan sent you to Crown Haven Wealth Advisors.
BJ's Wholesale Club is coming to town, opening soon in Noblesville. BJ's has up to 25% off grocery store prices before coupons, and they have lower gas prices every day. Join today. Go to bjs.com/Noblesville.
August 11, returning to Carmel for one night only at the Palladium, the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Tickets on sale now at the Center's box office or online at thecenterpresents.org.
All right, Matt Bear is out. Alan Green is in.
Here we are. 465 eastbound is heavy from Keystone to 69. 465 westbound before 31. A crash blocking the right lane. Traffic is stopped up from Keystone. 69 southbound slows from 96 to 82nd, where there was an earlier accident. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now we have partly cloudy skies. It's 84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
If you listen to the show all week, we have Zach Brown band tickets to give away all week long on the show.
All week long, man.
Already gave away a pair today, but again, tomorrow on the Hammer and Nigel show, we'll have some more to give away. There's a new poll It says 57% of us think traditional office clothes will eventually be phased out. 23% think it's already happening. Certain things are still seen as a little too casual for work, though.
Such as?
Such as the 5 most inappropriate things guys can wear are gym clothes.
Mondo.
Our producer wears nothing but gym clothes, which I guess I'm wearing gym shorts and a T-shirt right now. Cycling gear. Of course, the tight spandex.
Oh, man.
Unless you're a chick, I'm not looking for cycle gear at all. Flip-flops.
Tony Katz.
He does wear flip-flops.
The few times he shows up to work, he's got flip-flops on. Come on.
Overalls. Overalls are still pretty unacceptable at work.
I need to start wearing overalls then. I think if anybody could pull that off, it's me.
Got a pair. When's the last time you donned a pair of overalls?
Man, probably since I was like 7, 8 years old, maybe. No, take that back. I went through a crisscross phase where I had one of them up, one of them down.
Shut up.
Like 6th grade.
Oh, I think I maybe had some skids. I think they called them skids. S-K-I-D-Z. I think I had a pair of those.
I have those in my underpants. Is that the same thing?
I believe those are skid marks.
Oh, it's something different. Oh, well, damn.
No, those are for dudes. The top 5 for women are gym clothes. Any top that looks too much like a bra. Come on. Really? Crop tops, Crocs, flip-flops, hot pants, and tube tops.
Who do they speak with? Because if it's chicks talking about what other chicks wear, you're going to get real catty answers. If it's dudes, they're not going to say anything. Oh, she looks great in that tank top that I bought her for Christmas.
Well, I'm wearing, like, Mondo, have you ever worn sleeves to work? Like, literally, sleeveless shirts.
I can't remember the last time I wore sleeves to work.
When was the last time you wore sleeves, period?
Yesterday, actually.
Really?
Yep, last night at Pizza King. And
you dressed up for some fine dining yesterday at Pizza King.
My girlfriend's been getting on me lately about not wearing sleeves when we go out into public places.
She's embarrassed of you.
That's right. That's fancy talk for, God, put some sleeves on, Kyle.
Now, she did say, she goes, and I mean this in the best way, your arms will look bigger with sleeves on.
There you go.
Okay.
Said, all right, babe, I got
And you bought it?
I bought it.
Okay. Fantastic. We got another hour to go.
Yep.
Put your big boy pants on. We're going to dive into the way the media is treating this hero from the Greenwood Park Mall shooting. Some of it's disgusting. Some of it's ridiculous. We've got that, an update on the Beech Grove shooting, and a lot more. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
I'm Tom Shane. Growing up in a family of jewelers, I remember looking at gemstones alongside my father. I learned to appreciate their unique beauty and developed an eye for evaluating diamonds, rubies, and sapphires. To this day, I'm still examining gemstones. Throughout the year, I traveled to Bangkok, the gemstone capital of the world, to hand-select only the most beautiful rubies and 16 colors of sapphires for Shane Company. When I'm there, I never